Wednesday evening. Welcome to Outlaw Radio, real talk on a Wednesday night. My name is Kevin Barnes. I'm the host of Outlaw Radio. How y'all doing? 414 stand up, Black America stand up, foundational Black Americans stand up. We're gonna bring you another show tonight. We'll get off into some deep topics. It'll be real talk, as the title so suggests. Mr. Carter, how you doing tonight, my brother?
Hey, I'm peaceful, man. How y'all doing out there? Welcome to Outlaw Radio, where we talk that talk and we definitely walk that walk. Raising vibrations and elevating thought. Y'all better come on in. I'm trying to tell you, I am the black woman lover, the black man's brother, the culture teacher, the hood healer. Say mama! They're gonna see most man! Y'all better come on in. The house of vitality is in full effect.
I'm feeling all of that this evening. That's some dope shit. Welcome to the show, my brother. It's been hot. This is what people wanted. It was raining. I told y'all I was cool with the rain. Now it's just been blazing hot. People complaining. Surprisingly, people are complaining. But other than that, man, how's your week been?
Man, it's been good, man. Everything been smooth. Yeah, it's been smooth. Today I had an easy day, a light day. The Sherman Phoenix was closed. The building was closed today. So one of the sisters left a flat iron on yesterday, right? In one of they space. So it burnt through whatever it is they sat it on, burnt through their counter, had a bunch of smoke in there in their space or whatever, a bunch of soot on the roof. So yeah, they closed down so they could clean the area and clean the air. Get the air right.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
man.
crazy.
Wasn't expecting that when I went in here today.
Of course not. Right?
But hey, it is what it is. You know, we got to roll with the punches, man.
Keep pushing. I want to say happy birthday, happy heavenly birthday to Eric Bernard Adway. If you know, you know. We like to refer to him as a urban legend. Once again, if you know, you know. I listen. If you don't know, don't be who is that, right? So, but shout out to him, and indirectly had an effect on. I never met him. I may have seen him a couple times, at the palace or whatnot as a jit, not even knowing. But with his murder, it resonated so hard through our community. It affected my life. You see what I'm saying? Big part of what happened. So rest in peace and happy heavenly birthday to the legend, Eric Bernard Adway. Yes, sir. Ladella Greer in the chat room, he said, EBA. I'm loving that. Number attached to the show, 262-202-5131. 262-202-5131. It's a good EBA Wednesday. The name of the show is Real Talk. I feel like I'm gonna have a good time tonight. I don't know about y'all, right? Everybody just like I just said. See, this is what you get.
I just got here. What you mean? What I know. What I mean?
I can't really explain it to you, especially in this capacity. Right?
Can I try?
Thanks, Kamar.
I can try. Kamar has a special kind of access. Normally, I would say that ain't your business, right? But I can't really say that to Kamar. So go ahead, Kamar. I'm gonna let you do it.
Well, EBA stands for Eric B. Adway. If you don't know who Eric B. Adway is one of the fellas from Milwaukee from years ago, right? A lot of people may not know, but if you don't know, he was one of the first people who I knew about who the police took out. You know what I mean? The victim of police violence. So we can say that.
Thank you. That's well put. There's a lot more to it in terms of being a leader,
right?
And being the type of individual that people could rally around. And I connected to the systematic murder of all Black leaders. If we go back to Chairman Fred Hampton, and you go back to the original Panthers, Bobby Hutton, and my man from LA. I always usually say his name. I forget. Bunchy. right? Like anytime there's a black leader on the horizon, systematically he or she gets taken out. And Eric had that kind of savoir faire. And so Capitol Drive, if you didn't grow up on Capitol Drive in the 80s, you probably just like, what is that? Unless we beat you up somewhere. Okay, so Outlaw Radio, welcome to the show, Juice Lady. Welcome to the show.
Hello. Welcome.
How you doing? How you doing?
I'm well. How's everyone? Real, how are you?
I'm good. How y'all doing?
All right.
We're good. I got beef with Courtney.
Oh, word?
You got
Yeah.
beef? Look, I was here before Real today, so what we beefing about?
No, because
I was only about 2 minutes before you, Real. I wasn't that early.
I always listen to the shows, right? Like I know people normally who be on the show, they just do it and they don't go back and listen. Because a lot of times people they don't like the sound of their own voice. I don't have that problem, right?
That's me.
So people, right? So you had tried to do some Google maneuvers on me the other night on the word fear, and when I looked it up, I realized that you said it was semantics, and it absolutely was not. First of all, I stated that in terms of myself and others around me, the unknown doesn't make us scared. We're not scary. Like, we're not like, oh my God, I can't do it because I don't know what's going to happen. And then you said, well, fear and the unknown is the same thing. And then you Googled it. But when I looked at the definition today, it basically said what I said it was, which is something that you see or that is in your environment that upsets you, that you are scared of. So I said, you're scared of things, but to be scared of the future for me made no sense. You jumped on my heels a little bit. It was like, yeah, nigga, you just be talking shit. She was twisting up her
because you be making everything about you. We weren't talking about you. We was talking about the mask.
It's called Outlaw Radio. It's supposed to be about me.
Well, I will Kev. I'm like, why ain't nobody talking about you? We talking about the masses.
So hold on.
Well, me.
My own podcast can't be about me sometimes. According to everybody in this world, Kev, it ain't about you. That's what they tell me about everything. Including my own fucking show that I've been doing for 10 years. Somebody say, why you making everything about you? It's my show. It's supposed to be about me to a certain extent. So we cool. I ain't gonna send the goons after you or nothing. You know what I'm saying? We cool because you outlaw. We don't bang on family members. But I just had to, like, I went and looked at the definition, like, see, she was trying to ride on me for no reason. She was just pissed because I was in full shit talking mode. So she was trying to snap. I
appreciate that you're not gonna bang on the family. That
right.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for sparing me.
Yeah, right? Deep breaths I had to take. Y'all share the show. It's called Real Talk. And the reason why I said Real Talk is because what I realize a lot of the times when I'm listening back to the shows is that we're having very difficult conversations in public, right? On the internet, via social media. And sometimes people's opinions, as well as their egos, get stroked on this show. You might hear a motherfucker voice go up 2-3 octaves sometimes. People get so mad he or she is just not going to let nobody else talk. They're just going to talk until you be quiet. This is how it goes, right? So I welcome that. That's why I encourage you to call the number 262-202-5131. Or get in the chat room. I see Aaron Brown in the chat room from Arizona. He's saying, meathead. I don't know if he's trying to rib on me or what. I don't know if that's what we're going to kick the show off doing, because I got something in the chamber for you. You really don't want to do that with me, Aaron. So I hope you're talking about somebody else, not me. I mean, I got a big head, but you don't be insulting me on my own shit. So check this out, man. Like I said, this is a very interesting show because I happen to divulge some information this week. And I hope I'm doing the right thing by starting off the show talking about this. We are facing Milwaukee County a $19 million tax deficit. No, y'all didn't just beat. What was the magazine cover? The mayor and Crowley, faces of power. This tax increase, county and citywide, it saved us from a fiscal cliff. We had to do this. only to turn around and now say consumer spending is down, right? Which has caused a $19 million deficit. Okay, let's slow that down and bring that back for y'all. Is this not similar to the begging and the pleading for the $252 million referendum in which we were told that we'll not be making cuts, this will keep us steady, only to get the money and then say, all you motherfuckers laid off? Right? So ain't this the same shit? The county, I've watched the mayor and the county, the mayor and DC Crowley, my brother, I rocks with you. Make this one of them situations where you call me again. You got to make this make sense to me. Now, I realize via our conversation, you told me the county did not forego their rights to utilize funding for DEI programming of any sort. Okay, which I appreciated. The city did, because you know our mayor is pretty much a pimp, like, you know. But he's saying in Friday at the Next, everything's for sale, maybe even you, right? Cat Williams told him shit. But $19 million. How we gonna make this up? Y'all finna ask us for some more money? A dollar turned into $2. What used to cost $1 costs $2 now because of this tax hike. And the money that what you were supposed to see that will save us financially, monetarily, is years off. You won't really be able to measure the success of it until years off. So how is we gonna get the $19 million for the county, Milwaukee County's deficit? And then they said it's because people ain't spending money no more. Motherfuckers ain't got no money. What are you talking about?
Or we just legalize some weed.
Oh shit.
You know what I'm saying?
That would definitely help.
Maybe we should have did that before we gave up our rights to borrow our own money. As taxpayers, we gave up rights for our city to borrow our money from the state, in which we pay city and state taxes and federal taxes. Why the fuck I got to agree to any conditions? If you don't give me my motherfucking money, I'm broke. I need some bread. I need that bread you owe me. It's very simple. Well, I made it simple. I understand the process is complicated. That's the problem. He doesn't understand. It's not that simple. Aaron Brown is laughing. He said he was talking to Dota. Ladella Greer. He's talking to you, meathead, he called you. Then he laughed because I thought he was coming at me. I was finna have to get busy. I had to get busy. Dion, what it do? He said, what up, gang? Dion, what you think about this $19 million deficit that Milwaukee County has announced today? Right? I thought the tax hike saved you. Hell, a bottle of water costs $35 at the zoo. You saying people stop spending in that regard? Fuck yeah, we bring our own water.
I was fucking offended, dog.
Not just offended, fucking offended.
Straight up, fucking offended.
Yeah.
Thirsty as a motherfucker walking around that big ass zoo. And they want $7 for a bottle of water.
Come on, man.
Like that, man.
What are we talking about here?
And I was finna bring my backpack and load that motherfucker up, but I didn't, you know?
You have a position at County Stadium, all of the major events and all this, you are there. You feel me? Like, so, but you're going to, I love how they phrased it and said, consumer spending is down in Milwaukee County, when both you and the city have initiated a substantial tax hike.
They done picked up at least $42 million off of that thing. Remember we did that show and I told you about somebody that came up to the Phoenix?
Right.
And was talking about how up to that point they had pulled out like $40-something million just off of the taxes, consumer taxes.
Yeah, they was talking that shit early in the summer. It's a success. It's a rousing success. Now you say, oh, our bad. We actually in the whole 19 mil.
Oops.
Where the fuck is it coming from? You cannot possibly ask the citizens of Milwaukee for more money because we've given to your stadium, the b-ball and the baseball stadium.
Both of them.
So you can't,
and they want to move us out the city.
And that was up. Okay, Kamar, if you want to steal my thunder, go ahead. I'm just saying. In the middle
I
of
didn't know you was going there. I swear I didn't.
listen, hey, listen. Where the jobs at, Mayor Johnson? Where the jobs at? I don't hear no economic plan, bruh. Except for that business you doing downtown with all the contractors, little buddy. What that fraud ass RNC shit. And Trump just aligned, just lies. This motherfucker, y'all don't understand. This motherfucker's in the press
Man, did
conference.
y'all see him in Chicago at that?
Did you hear what he said about the convention here? He said it is the greatest, perfect, most greatest competition convention ever. He said we broke and smashed all the TV records. That's a lie. His speech at the I think the 2016 convention broke. That viewership was higher than this. And he said the people in Wisconsin told me they're gonna all vote for me because I gave them $250 million in their economy. Listen, first of all, the benchmark was 200. And secondly, even Mayor Lil Buddy said, well, business was kind of slow, but we was hoping it picked up at the end. Did it? I ain't hear nobody get no increase. No. So that means that's a lie too. And nobody here promised you shit. You're a liar. And you ain't gave no $250 million. This motherfucker just say what he want to say. Oh, Milwaukee love. Then he said about he said the stadium was great. They built it for the basketball team. And he said they have a really good basketball player here called the Greek. That's what he called him. He called him the Greek.
Yeah, dude is hilarious. I just watched the he had an interview down in Chicago with the black journalist or some shit like that, right?
Right.
And man, you gotta look at this shit. It's on YouTube, right? I just watched it a few hours ago, man.
Okay.
This motherfucker is fucking hilarious, dog. Like the way he run from questions, the answers that he do give when he give them, you know what I'm saying? First off, the interview first started, he told him he was appalled at the way the lady asked him the question she asked, right? You didn't even say hello. You didn't ask how I was doing. She was like, but sir, we only got a limited amount of time with you and other reporters are coming behind me. I got to get right to it. You know what I mean? But dog is just a fucking asshole, man.
Right. And I guess that's the best way to say it.
I'm telling you, they were saying that he may have lost a lot of support after that interview.
Wow. Fuck the 32
shitting on them and talking about the black jobs again.
Black jobs. They need to put that shit on Indeed, black jobs, so I can click on that shit and see what they're hiring for. Let me see how much these shits pay. Right. We got a caller. Caller was popping with you.
What it do, family?
What's going on, man? Well, okay.
Juice lady.
Peace.
Negro motherfucking whisperer.
Yeah,
What's
man.
the word?
Ain't nothing, man. I didn't recognize the number. I liking the, as my mom said, I liking to not answer the phone.
No, you didn't the first time. It sent me the voicemail.
I did.
Yeah,
I didn't. It's been that long since I heard from you. You know how cats get when they get a little, what we say, Kamar? I see you got you a little job.
Man,
Black people put you down right away. He got him a little job now.
Man, bro. Yeah, bro.
Oh, that's where you been at.
Sir, I see you all in the Sherman Phoenix having your little meetings and stuff.
Yeah, I got another one coming up. You know what I mean? I'm gonna have plenty more. I'm about to take on something, man. I'm always.
Hey, Sean. First of all, you can't call in like that, and you ain't even say happy birthday to Eric. You ain't even say happy birthday.
See, I
wouldn't sing yesterday. What you mean?
I'm talking about here on the show, man. I wasn't with your ass yesterday.
Man, listen, man. Happy birthday, man. It's been 40 years, my brother. And, the love just, it ain't dissipated. You know what I mean? And the motivation behind losing my dude, you know what I mean? The impact on my life.
Right.
And
that's what I spoke to, though.
Of knowing it, you know what I mean?
But that's what I spoke to, Sean, about the effect that had on that entire area in terms of us as the everybody,
you
like
know,
miles away. It had people say, "Whoa, what?" So yeah,
it changed the city because it affected that generation on the north side of Milwaukee, right?
yeah,
If you were black in Milwaukee on the north side, you knew what happened to Eric.
yeah.
No matter what was said, how it was spent, right? Just off of who he was, people knew that that story wasn't true, and this was really an assassination and a tragedy, and it affected many of us for decades. Some are still dealing with that trauma, right? Still living that day, really. You know, so for those of us who have evolved and you know, taken his name and tried to elevate it, right? Keep it alive, live not just for his memory, but in his memory.
Right.
Yeah, you know, man, it's for my dude.
Yeah. Now you hold on a minute, because I got to rake you over some coals about some stuff. So hold on. I got to catch my chat room.
First and foremost,
Dion,
ain't no coals on the show.
No. I got that fire. Just hold on a second. Don't get muted on your reappearance, right? Don't get muted at the reunion.
Man, I've been muted.
Right. In better places, on better shows. I've seen you on those shows.
Wow.
Dion said RNC should have helped us. That's a fraud. That was a sham. They built a cage around the hotel. That was a sham. We didn't make no money off that. Good evening, my Outlaw family. This is Mama Jenkins. How you doing, Mama Jenkins? It took me a minute to get to your comment. She said, good evening, my Outlaw family. Kev, let it be about you. She said, I love you. Kamar, Juice Lady, and Rail. Did you observe them standing there looking like real idiots? I just wonder why the courthouse didn't have any toilet paper in the lady restroom. Smell like piss. Mama Jenkins never holds back, man. No, it's about all of us. I was talking shit. You know that. It's about everybody. Rock, how you doing, my brother? He said, top of it. Ewok said, man, he got mad as hell because a girl asked him some real questions. Yeah, the Tangerine King's a fraud. Now let's get to your
Ewok saw it then, huh? You saw it, Ewok?
Sean, you got to turn something down because you're giving me a stupid echo. Like it's crazy.
Bro, I have nothing up. Okay. What are you talking about?
Somebody needs to turn. Calm down. Calm down.
Oh.
Right. I need for you to take a deep breath. All right. Calm down. I know it's EBA day. Right. I mean, because I had no problems until you walked up, right? It's like, man, dude brought the heat with him.
Damn, Sean.
But now I want to know about your lying ass little buddy Mayor, man. Because I've been waiting on that show because you had the exclusives. And I've been waiting because I wanted to hear your convo with him. Then I seen he's supposed to go to TikTok. What's going on, man? I was waiting on it, on the gang members, all this.
Hold on. Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Oh, we ain't been on there.
You think, hold on, Juice Lady. Cool out. You ain't got no liquids to make?
Yeah, but I just want to know why the Outlaws ain't been on the gang members. I mean, but go ahead.
Look, you were invited and
I said Outlaws.
And Senorita and all that shit. Anyway.
It's all of us or nothing.
So I was moving, man. I've been moving and working these hours, man. And I took a hiatus. You know what I mean? I still got it. I'm gonna release it in 3 parts. Try to narrate and explain why I asked the questions that I asked. I'm not no radio personality, none of that. I'm not asking the everyday question. So yeah, I'm taking my time with it because it's mine.
Well, ain't nobody said it wasn't yours, but I mean, if you want to just keep it so you can watch it when you by yourself at night, that's cool too. I'm just saying, honestly, like you promoted it like you wanted to share it with us, and now you talking about it's mine. Yeah, motherfuckers is right. Yeah.
I do. I see
Here
how
you go again, just dipping in. But no, honestly, I have yet to watch it. I haven't watched it.
Oh my God. Did you ask him why he be lying so much?
Should have had Kev on there, clearly.
Come on. Like that. No,
clearly should have let Kev call in.
I did ask him why he doesn't. I think I said throw people under the bus, right?
Yeah, but that's not the same question.
I'm telling you what I remember about the interview. It was more than just one question. I'll tell you honestly, I have not.
That's one of the most important questions you can ask him, though. The fact that there's no transparency in his during his tenure, and when asked with direct questions, he does like a poor man's version of Trump. He don't cuss out the reporter. He just lies. You gonna have to watch it because you ain't even seen it yourself yet and can't remember the questions.
I listen, man. I listen. I don't. I don't want to. I'm so critical of myself, man. You know what I mean? I really. There's no harder judge on me than me.
All right, but don't be Tyler Perry and just write all the movies because you like I don't need no help, and then the movies suck. Like it's enough people that could have came in and made this interview official.
Listen, man, I need a lot of help, right? I need a lot of help, especially in my next endeavor. I need a lot of help.
Tell us about it.
I'm gonna call on my people, on my friends, man, on people that know about my passion for people, the work that I've done, the work I want to do, the work I'm gonna continue to do regardless. But I think I'm gonna run as a write-in for the 10th Assembly District.
That's motherfucking right.
For the state assembly, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whichever, he don't care. Whichever one. We don't care. We run. I mean,
I'm tired of fighting against the same snake and seeing nothing change. So if I can be one of those change makers, I'm gonna try my.
Okay.
But just know you gotta talk faster when you're running. Now you can't be talking that slow, trying to keep people engaged. So speed it up, Sean.
On your heels. Sean don't take dramatic pauses. He takes like long ass like.
Sometimes I do stutter.
Right.
I was born with a stutter.
And we've had this
long pauses.
Yeah, we've
had this conversation, Courtney. Because,
it ain't the stutter. That ain't it. It's the long.
No, that's what I'm saying. We've spoken offline, and I say, man, great show, but damn, bro, he like, nah, I'm talking slow for a reason because I will stutter.
You will stutter, so that's why you go. Okay, I get it. My bad.
Yeah, there we go. So
I be thinking so fast about so much shit, man. It just, I don't know.
You got ADHD?
My mama told me I need to stop thinking so much.
Yeah, it's gonna be the longest press conferences ever. Motherfucking reporter's gonna be asleep like
because I like reporters. That ain't gonna happen.
No, but when Sean want to talk shit, he sure don't be having no issue.
Right? No, his ass when he was upset earlier, he wasn't slowing up. Right. First of all, it's mine.
When I get upset, it just flows.
Right. So. Man, listen. Mama Jenkins is in the chat room. She says Trump was a complete fool once again on that interview. He never answered one question. Shout out to Fletch, who is our sponsor, EPU. SDS.com is their website. Go and learn the EPU way, right? Learn how to do your thing when somebody run up on you. Like, let me get that. You gotta look up on them. Yeah. He said, what up, Outlaw family? Fresh off jury duty. See y'all Saturday. Wellness our way. Let's go. Y'all better go to Wellness Our Way this weekend. Yeah, I won't unfortunately be there, but I listen. Y'all better go down. I got prior engagements. Courtney be all in everybody business and won't answer the question. She just be at everybody like, what's in the cup?
Right, I'm like, I ain't engaging. What you doing?
Who was that in the car with you? Like, well, you ain't seen me in no car. You said you was driving. It's like, damn, Courtney, she be on your heels. Ewok says, yeah, K Bull, I watched Trump crash and burn on that YouTube. It was real bad.
Crashed and burnt like a motherfucker. He crashed hard.
Mama Jenkins said, tell him, Juice Lady, my son is on delay. Mama Jenkins said, Sean is on delay. He said you have that is hilarious. She said you was on delay, bro. That was like it's via satellite. He's on delay, right? You ever seen the news when they be interviewing somebody and it's a delay and the person wait like a couple minutes before they answer it?
We're not doing that right now. You know how we go from Eric to this.
See how you sped up then? That's the pace we need.
Because he
on the campaign trail, we gotta piss him off before he go on stage. We call him all kinds of names. You go out there, and I tell you what else I'm gonna do, brother. Juiced up.
Oh my gosh.
Earl Henny said you have my vote so that we can see what's next in White Wisconsin.
That's right.
I know this is short because this ain't got nothing to do with your interview with Lil Buddy, who I got a feeling that you wasn't really pressing him hard. That's why you holding the footage hostage. But your boy DC Crowley in the county, $19 million deficit post-tax increase. Where they gonna get this money from?
The Bucks.
Well, they need to figure out
the Greek
why there's a deficit, right?
Because they said consumer spending is down. That's why I'm sorry. They say consumer spending is down.
That's because everything else is up.
Okay.
The price of every product is up. What you mean? Of course, consumer spending is down because they can't spend as much money.
And y'all ain't bringing no more money.
I can't go buy all the snacks I wanted to buy.
That's right.
Right? I can't. It's just impossible. Because everything is going up. So of course I got to cut back on something, right? It ain't just food. People not driving as much.
Inflation is so bad. Inflation is so bad in America right now. McDonald's has lost money, and they said, well, "Fuck this." They went back to a $5 menu. They said they're making a whole new sandwich. It's going to budget burger or something. Like I'm talking about across the board, consumer spending is down because motherfuckers ain't having more money. See, the price of everything went up and wages didn't.
Yeah.
That's what
it ain't a lot of places to spend money either. I mean, they got rid of all the Walmarts in Milwaukee. So now you got to go to other places. You got to go to Brown Deer. You got to go to Germantown. Like, it ain't no place to really spend money in Milwaukee outside of the downtown Deer district that we ain't welcome at and shit.
You got a city with 550,000 people and you don't have a movie theater in your town. You don't have one single movie theater in the city of Milwaukee. And you got 500,000 people.
Let me ask y'all this. Have they recouped the COVID money that they gave out?
Well, no, if we're talking about the city, because this is not the city, this is the county. I want to make sure people understand that. I'm guessing that they've, distributed their COVID money. The county usually blames all their financial woes on the pension. If y'all know about the history of what the county did with back in the days, this group of white people, it's a long story. Go look it up. The pension scandal. They basically said, hey, we're going to secure all ourselves. So when we retire, they set it up. So when they retire, they get these huge cash payouts and these just monthly checks, all full benefits, everything. Some of them took $2 and $3 million payouts and they wasn't even making $100,000 a year. So each year that goes by when these people retire, which a lot of them have, the county has to pay that. And so that's what the tax hike was supposed to address. Like, really got these problems because we're still dealing with the pension problem. But now it's, because y'all stopped spending money. Because we was just talking about them goddamn $600 bottles of water at the zoo. A hot dog costs $96. I'm paraphrasing, of course. But I mean, real talk. I took my niece and my daughter to the zoo when they were very young, and like Kamar said, I was thirsty as a motherfucker, and I was like, man, I wanted to get some water, but it was like $7, right? And so I said,
Hey,
you
y'all,
know
we gonna
what?
share this water.
Let's leave, and we left and came back. I don't even know if they still let people back in. We went to Pick and Save. I bought each one of them a backpack and filled each one up with snacks, water, everything. And we ate our own shit the whole day. I told y'all ready? Yeah, sit down at the picnic table. Because the water.
Hey, I remember when I was a kid, man. That's how my mom and them used to do. They pack a whole day's worth of stuff, and we'd go to the part where you sit down at the picnic tables when it's time to eat.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And go eat, and then get back at it.
Hell yeah.
You know, there's places like Chicago where I plan to go this weekend where the zoo is free every day. You know what I'm saying? It's probably free every day because they sell weed. Now, I don't know how much they snacks are, but I know we got to pay to get in the zoo. We got certain free days, whereas that shit is free every day in Chicago. We need to sell some weed around here. We need to get some dope.
Well, that shit puts millions and millions of dollars into your economy. Like, it's actually a no-brainer if you're in a situation we're in with little buddy and my brother DC. If you look around and say, why is this happening? You ain't generating tax revenue because the people ain't got no money.
Got money for weed.
You're not bringing jobs. You're losing jobs. And you should be able to see this. And neither one of them, I don't know about DC, but I'm pretty sure he gonna have to be called to the front of the congregation pretty soon about this deficit. He's gonna have to speak on it. But we hear the mayor, he's like, oh, we good. That's as safe as this city ever been. It's 23% safer on Fond du Lac now. This is the mayor, Sean, that you interviewed. Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with MPS. They doing good. Let me call Keith and see what's going on. I ain't aware of nothing. Really, you gonna call Keith? The housing authority? Oh, heck them, they're doing well. Look, I've talked to some people who said they're making strides. Hey, bro, the feds is running them right now. They took them over because they said it was fraud the way they were operating. That's your mayor. And Sean, that's your man. So I don't know if you ask him those questions. If you ask him, why is he?
I can't ask him about something that just took place last week, bro.
This shit happened months ago.
Ask him about MPS.
That shit, he lied about that months ago. We've been talking about this shit. See, we ain't took no hiatus. We've been on his ass ever since February. And before that, because we rock with Miss Beverly, who's always been on MPS's heels. So it ain't like this just happening. Maybe you ain't paying attention to that. Maybe you're a journalist who does no research. Go ahead. Oh,
wow.
I know.
Wow.
I got a little worked up. It's EBA birthday.
Wow.
I got a little worked up. I'm sorry.
Okay.
You guys are something else.
All right, Sean, you're like, I'm punching your big ass.
I'm about to see you too, bro.
Don't punch me. You need my help running, man. I'm gonna help you out with this. I'm gonna help you get out here.
All right, you're right.
So I punch you after the election.
Kev.
Once I win,
yes, ma'am.
And I get you drunk. Have another drink on me, KB. Shit.
Trap. You've never bought me a drink before. I would automatically be suspicious. Like, what this motherfucker?
I didn't say I was buying you no drink.
Well, damn sure you don't give me the drink, then you ain't buying. Go ahead, Courtney. Shine on some nothing.
Okay, so like the presidential campaign that's going on right now, do you think it would be in Sean's best interest to maybe get Steve the Stoner or somebody like that to engage the 1% of the certain percent of the black community? No, we shouldn't do like the Megan Thee Stallion Steve the Stoner.
I'm gonna tell you why he shouldn't. I'm gonna tell you why he shouldn't. Because we seen what happened with Kamala today with Megan Thee Stallion twerking.
What happened? I see a lot of people online like, I'm definitely voting now. That's what I see.
For me, it was just like she could have performed and not twerked, right? Like I
seen that.
But that's her, and that's the culture. So, but for me personally, I was just like, well, I mean, go ahead, come on.
Maybe color folks, we gotta use our shit to get
pander. Yeah.
Maybe.
So let's use Steve the Stoner for Sean then.
I mean, you know what I mean? Like it's worth a try.
You ain't getting to Madison rocking with Steve the Stoner.
Party 23, that was last year. Sean in office.
Let me say this, right? Real talk. If I got to use some gimmicks, I'm just like everybody else, right? If I can't get people to vote for me based off their needs and what I'm gonna do when I get up there, it ain't gonna happen. All that see the stoner shit, I ain't with that shit.
We can get
You know what I
Cuckoo
mean?
Cow to get you a
ain't
little song or something.
shit.
No?
I
You
No?
said what?
She said,
So we
"Get
can have
Cuckoo
Cuckoo
Cow."
Cow make you a little song or something, you know?
Right.
My son makes music.
There we go.
All right, well,
If I'm
There we
gonna
go.
have anybody make me some music, it's gonna be my son, and he in the studio.
Let's just run a good
day.
campaign and not have a theme song. Right?
Yeah,
Let's
no,
just
I don't
like,
need no thing.
black people always got a theme song and shit. Shake it
I'm
like a
trying
sauce,
to
shake it, shake it like a sauce,
I
shake
really want to win a campaign.
it. Shut it blow, whatever. I don't think it's so bad to call a billion. He won't come out to this song and shit. Come
we
on,
love
man.
a theme song. You know we do.
All right. Maybe it's time to change the game, though. Y'all might be on to something. Mama Jenkins says, I would like to hear from Vince as to why they walked him out of the school board meeting. Okay. Dion says only the Lincoln Park Zoo is free. Is that right on Hampton where you can see all the niggers? I know. I'm racist. What can I say?
Clearly.
Right. She said clearly. Mama Jenkins said Tom Amen and the boys took the money. That's right. Mama Jenkins, one of my football coaches in high school who was assistant coach, he worked for them. He was in on that too. His name was Tom Mullen, him and his wife. And they didn't make like the hundreds of thousands of dollars in salary, but their pensions was fat. They millionaires because of that shit, right? And so that's why the county's still reeling years later. Well, that's the excuse. Vince Tony in the chat room. What up, Vince, man? Long time no hear, my brother. He said they walked me out because I challenged their selection of Eduardo Galvan as interim superintendent with public input. He said, I told a Caucasian to look me in the eye. These are our children. I would not bow to speaking my piece. So they just escorted you to the car. Just come on, Vince.
Says, sir, come with us.
But they know him. They know. Come on, Vince. Vince, bring your ass.
Come on.
They know Vince. They know it's oh shit. There you go. They was already waiting in. If he say anything, we taking him out. Step down now. I demand you. Like, damn, bro. Yeah.
As soon as he made his first statement, they was like, yeah, get him up out of here.
Right. Yeah,
right.
And Vince ain't wrong, man. I rocks with man. Listen, see, we have to support where it needs, and then when somebody on some bullshit and you don't agree with them, don't support them. Then when they doing something they supposed to be doing, like speaking freely at a school board meeting, that's setting the course for what's a very questionable school year in terms of how this whole thing is. Like, who the fuck is the leader? When we just got a superintendent in August, and he's interim. Who's running the fucking school system?
I mean,
the school board is under recall. I'm sorry, Courtney. The school board is under recall, and they're supposedly the ones that govern. So who's running the school? These kids, man.
I'm just saying all these schools be doing that because I mean, even in Wauwatosa, even though we're here, we don't hear much about it. But my kids are in Wauwatosa. Teachers leaving, principals leaving, like shit. Our principal left the one year. The next year we had an interim, and maybe she's official now. But yeah, they doing the same type of shit. Their school board is switching up. People, I mean, it ain't on such a big level like MPS is. You know what I'm saying? But it's fucked up all around. You know what I'm saying?
Do they have the monetary mismanagement, the financial mismanagement? Is that because that's a big reason why all this is happening in MPS? It's incompetence, but it's mainly based around the fact that your budget ballooned to what $1.5 billion, and then you kept saying we ain't had no money, and we gave you $500-600 million more, and we still got to cut. Wait a minute, something ain't right. Something that my mom used to say. It's a fly in the buttermilk, right? Like,
IRS took most of it. Taxes. No, that wasn't us.
Okay.
Taxes.
It's not stolen. It's lost. That's what my sister, Aisha Carr, said.
Exactly.
And I keep telling y'all, in one of them cafeterias where they eat at in central office, it's like $9 million somebody just forgot, and it dropped out their pocket. It's in the couch. Nobody stole it. Mm-hmm. Earl Henning said, Black men are in charge of the city of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and there are no jobs in the hood of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, I hear the mayor saying a bunch of because it's now it's starting to turn into the peanuts I have not heard him speak to economic empowerment yet. I've seen him make false promises about, hey, the RNC is going to be a big boost, and we're going to see all this money from this increase in revenue sharing from the state because we initiated this tax hike. I ain't heard this motherfucker say not one thing about jobs. I have not heard him say nothing about jobs. When I say that, I mean, of course, he's going to come out and say, unemployment continues to be a problem. We got to try to put people to work. What's your plan? What's your plan? And keep in mind, this is your 1.5 term. It ain't the second one. You had half at first, and I thought that was funny. It's cool. Y'all don't gotta laugh.
Oh, that was a joke.
You asked me what my plan is?
No, I'm talking about your buddy, little buddy, who I seen y'all both had on nice shoes. It was a nice background. You seemed like you had your Sunday's best on. You had your Easter Sunday on.
That wasn't my Sunday's best, man. You know what I mean? I get disrespected.
Right.
Yeah.
He had the Gators on
I was
and
on business, looking like I was on business.
That's right. I said you had your Sunday best.
I'm off Capitol, partner.
You was Deacon Moore that day.
Hey, okay.
Deacon Moore, Deacon Sean. I like the ring of
better
that.
Better than
Sean.
being convict Moore.
Right.
Man,
right.
There you go. There you go. From the outhouse to the penthouse.
Hey.
Right. There we go.
Better than no house.
There you go. All right. Oatmeal beat no meal. Right. All that. Right. Mama Jenkins said they got to bring it to that level to get people attention. She even quoted Quavo. Walk the walk. Okay.
Said you gotta walk it like you talk it. Wow. He's not.
Is that what it was?
Yeah,
Mama Jenkins on it though.
Like he ain't walking it how he talk it.
Yeah, she had the black. So she was all at my daughter Boulay thing, and they was.
I wonder what made her pick Megan Thee Stallion. Like, what song could Megan even perform? Like, I ain't watch it, but like, what could she perform?
Listen. I don't know why y'all don't act like y'all don't know what she's doing, man.
We know what she's doing.
She picked people that may appeal to people that's not gonna vote.
Right.
The
Ratchets.
I said they need Sweetie.
The Ratchets.
They gonna fight over Sweetie. Somebody gotta get Sweetie.
Trump is doing it. He keep in mind he just had Hulk Hogan.
I mean, not Sweetie. I mean Sexy Red. My bad. One of them got to get Sexy Red.
No. Anyway, listen. Megan got shot.
Oh, allegedly.
By a man, right? By a black man, or whatever, right?
Right. Whatever. Yeah.
She testified. You know what I mean? She stood up for justice and shit, right?
Against the abuser.
She's not no threat. She ain't a threat to nobody.
No. Nobody said. We questioned the selection of her. Like, wow.
Listen, man. It was good marketing. It was good marketing.
Okay. You feel like it was.
Some gonna say that it wasn't, but more gonna say that it was.
Kamar, let's get the panel involved then. Why don't we?
Right.
What do you think about Meg twerking it out for Kamala? What you think about that?
Just what I was mentioned earlier about, like, even here when Courtney has said Steve the Stoner, I just said, like, I just feel like they trying something different. You know what I mean? How the fuck do we get these black people to vote? You know what I mean? So they going out on a limb. We starting to see that shit, man. They going to the extreme to reach the people, like somebody, I think Courtney or Sean just said, to reach the people that don't normally vote.
That's right. Okay. But was it a good look to you though? I mean, was you like, oh, that's a good look?
No, it's not a good look. No, it's not a good look.
Okay. Courtney, what you think about it?
I don't think it's a good look, but at the same time, I understand it. You know, that's why I'm over here saying somebody need to grab Sexy Red so she can, ooh, baby, I love you to the polls or some shit. They're going to use her to say something. Look, if we want to get our child support from our baby daddies, we got to vote, bitches. You know, something. You know, somebody's going to grab her up.
Let me ask y'all one question. When the rap world got behind Obama and pushed voting and all of that, nobody saying nothing. You had gangster rapping.
Who wasn't saying nothing? I thought it was the dumbest thing in the world.
Like, it wasn't nobody twerking. Everybody was just saying vote or die back then.
But it worked.
Yeah,
it worked.
I didn't vote. People didn't vote for Obama because of Young Jeezy saying my president is black.
Young Jeezy, man. I'm talking about, bro. You have celebrities.
It's like Stevie Wonder and Aretha Franklin and all these people. You right? He had the old guard with him, Al Green and shit. Yeah.
All them niggas too, right? And shit. And he ain't squeaky clean,
right?
But he used it to his advantage, man.
I mean, I understand that. Rel, what you think about this? Because I'm looking at, and I'm only thinking about this in terms of the imagery. I mean, because the optics is everything, and so a lot of people, one of their criticisms of Kamala is that she panders to black people, that she really don't care about them. And she's like, this is more pandering, and that's cool because, like I said, Trump had Hulk Hogan and Amber Rose and every other conservative white person you could think about inside that cage in the Pfister Hotel. Was this a good look to you? I know you different, right?
I think it was to be expected. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say whether it was a good or bad look. I just say it's to be expected the way there's heavy pandering to our people during these times, and it's funny as hell because people get outraged by the slightest shit, but they never seem to be outraged that motherfuckers insulting our intelligence. You know what I'm saying? Like it's almost like how a wigger or something had a hat to the back and sunglasses to show he down. It's like presidents got hot sauce. They got motherfuckers twerking, you know, they both sending niggas to jail. You know what I'm saying? So now it's like, okay, well, let's pander towards black women who feel empowered. And it, like, you know, to me, it just put a nail in the coffin to the whole, almost like how people treat Beyonce. You can't say nothing bad about her, or you know, the shit gonna fall on you. It's almost like if you say anything about this woman because of how she's perceived, now you don't support a black woman. Now you talking about a black, you know, all this shit. You know, people on Facebook talk about it. I don't care if she was a hoe. I was a hoe. Like, you know, I'm saying all kinds of shit, and you know, again, it don't make me no never mind because politics
too.
right. You know, yeah, she put niggas in jail, but some of them niggas needed to go to jail. Like, you know, like it don't hit me any kind of way because politics to me is WWF. Like them just like Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage before they really started beefing. Just like how they have a match and then go kick it with each other. That's how I see politics. But what I do, the one thing I did like though is the Reza Islam podcast or the interview where he was just breaking down shit that I didn't know. Like he was saying how they were saying how she just raised like $80 million. He's like, no, they gave her money. I guess she's sponsored.
You talking about Kamala?
Yeah,
she raised $200 million in a week.
Yeah, and what he was saying is a lot of that money came from, I guess, whoever the Jewish people is she's sponsored by. He say the name of it. I put the whole link in the video that I shared where he was basically saying the same shit I was saying. Like every 4 years, motherfuckers talk about voting, but in the meantime, in between time, we ain't talking about building infrastructure, practicing group economics, and getting to a point where it don't matter who in office because we actually got our health, wealth, and shit together.
Can I okay, so first of all, I want to be the stick in the mud here, the old stick in the mud. Times have changed. The hot artist right now is Meg Thee Stallion, right? And so what she does, her style of music, right? It's like Madonna back in the days, right? Like Madonna was sex personified, and she was just freak and burn herself with candles and doing heaven knows what with all kinds of funny looking people around her. and she was the biggest celebrity in the world. So there's politicians who, hey, come on out, come on to this, come on to that. And I'm always saying, let's stop complaining about the game and play the game. And so how do you get black people to vote? How do you get us, those who were seriously sitting there saying, I'm not voting because I'm not voting for old ass Biden and I ain't voting for Trump, and I usually don't be voting anyways. And then you say, oh shit, she got Meg up there. And she appeals to you. The only thing I said was I think she should have been taken upon herself to be a little less with the suggestive dancing. Now, once again, I ain't telling no woman what to do with her body, and that's her thing. She can shake it. And I'm sure some brothers like, if you don't shut your ass up, that's the only reason I watched it. But I'm just saying time and place matter, right? And so just to be a little bit more strategic in how you perform in the image you present, because at the end of the day, we want to make sure these young black sisters that's watching this the baby girls are saying, okay, these are the image, because that's the image you want, right?
They may have told her to make sure she do that.
Right. You got to understand their strategy. Their strategy may not have been to uplift appearance and uphold a standard. Their strategy might have been, twerk, so that we can get the feminists and the women who fighting for sexual empowerment and shit like that to get behind us. I mean, it ain't bad, but we don't know.
That's a whole nother message right there.
But that's why I also, like I said, I don't want to be the one to complain about it, because my perspective is it's not a good look, but I'm not. It's the reason why I don't hold that job, right? It's the reason why I don't work for nobody's campaign to do any of that, because I'd have been like, oh no, I'd have been that one dude in the room like, no, maybe we should get like Anita Baker or somebody. I would have not necessarily Anita Baker, but it would have been somebody else that I would have said, to come and perform. But it's all about getting these young people out and getting them out off their ass to vote. So I get it, I understand it, and I ain't gonna lie.
I ain't talking about pink coochie hoes and brown booty.
I don't know if any man right now really pauses when he sees Megan Thee Stallion twerking, because she absolutely twerks every time you see her. So it's not like you stopping like, ooh, Megan twerking. It's like Megan always twerking. No matter what the fuck it is, Megan is always twerking. She's that girl at the school who gonna twerk no matter what. Mama Jenkins in the chat room. Well, first of all, Earl Henning. I'm sorry, Mama Jenkins. Earl Henning said he's my baby daddy. We gonna vote. I can hear her saying that. That sounds more like a sexy red line, right? Me and my baby daddy going to vote in the Benz or whatever. Mama Jenkins said, Central City is still waiting for some jobs. A.O. Smith been gone for 20 years. Talgo took the trains away after old boy Walker would negotiate a contract for better family support and jobs over there. Where she said, we are fucked when it comes to jobs here. Little buddy might run for governor and Westmoreland might run for mayor since he changing shit as an alderman. I'm unfamiliar with him. Westmoreland, is this somebody, a new player? Let me see some of the work he's doing or she's doing
for a while. He's the same one that didn't want the food trucks on the street after that food truck got hit on Capitol. Then he was like, no more food trucks. And they like, wait the fuck a minute, nigga. So
I remember they were saying no food trucks between like 70, Hampton and 91st or something, but them trucks right back out there. So I was like, oh, they must have got something changed.
Right. Well, they got smart and just pulled around the corner. Not just like, I ain't on Capitol. So chicken wings like a motherfucker. Yeah. Mama Jenkins says she raised $81 million in 24 hours. Good Lord. I mean, like I said, once again, you got to rock with Outlaw Radio because we call the shots. We like Babe Ruth, point towards the stands. I said when this first happened, I said she has reinvigorated voters. The Democratic vote was jump-started, charged up by her just coming in and Biden saying, I'm cool. And people's kind of like, no, I don't know if they invigorated. I don't know. I still don't think she got a chance against Trump and all these polls now she leading in them. And Trump is just continuing to just put his foot in his mouth. So once again, now look at the excitement people have, even just the conversation. I don't like her. I do.
The Republicans trying to look at them for illegal transfer of funds of presidential funds. I forgot what they called it, but illegal transfer funds. Like they saying Biden gave the money what he raised to him, right? And they saying that's illegal, but I don't know if that's even true, if they did that or not. I just saw that today somewhere. I
come
doubt
on.
if they'd have did that because I'm sure they would know that that's illegal, right?
But come on. Are we talking about legal shit when he got 32 felonies?
Right.
Do they got the nerve to bring that up?
Right.
He got 34. He got 34.
Okay. What up, Dion? What's going on, man? They said, did somebody
Oh,
say he
nothing.
legal around this motherfucker? It's like,
Right.
what?
Yeah, I've been listening, and so I ain't gonna lie, I ain't even watched that shit with Kamala last night. Whenever it was, I'm an intellectual. I pride myself on being intellectual competent. And if it wasn't for if democracy of the United States, and I don't even know if I'm voting for democracy tomorrow. I just don't. I don't even know really. Like, I don't even know because, like I said, in order for someone, we're just looking at what the media keeps telling us. But if you actually remember when I was in Minnesota and you was at the Sherman Phoenix, and I said if you read certain things in Project 2025, I do agree with some of this shit. You know, like some of these things need to be implemented. But anyway, I don't like the fact how the Democrats pander to, like it's very insulting. It's like she pulled up with 10 semi trucks full of Michael Jordans and said, "You get a pair, you get a pair, you get a pair." Like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, are we that nimble-minded? I'm not talking about us, the intellectual community, but do they look at black folks as that simple that we get a bitch on stage to shake her ass and we like, oh, vote? You know what I'm saying? Like that,
Yes.
that's insulting. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I think so. I think we are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I think we are, Dion.
Yeah, it's insulting. Like, you know, come up with policy. You know, like the John Lewis Voting Rights Act or the George Floyd. You know, and I know like they asked Trump about the George Floyd police bill or something, but they asked Donald Trump about Sonia Macy. He said he's not familiar with it, which is bullshit because the nation is familiar with it. But then he might be telling the truth because white people, they say obscured from something like that. And when I tell people a lot of white people don't know shit, people be like, oh, they know. Because I work with white people. And I say, have you ever heard of Emmett Till? No, who is that?
Hey,
that answers everything that I need to know.
Yeah, and that's called avoidance. And the reason for that is because God forbid Trump says anything about a law enforcement officer in public that endears him to police unions and law enforcement unions. Like that's a crowd that he panders to. America, make America great. We believe in the law. We don't question police officers. So for him to speak on that, because there's no way you can speak on Sonia Massey without saying this is some bullshit. And this is the worst thing I've seen. And this is why we need law enforcement reform. That's where that conversation leads to. So yeah, he ain't gonna never
butcher that part of the interview.
I seen it, and it's something I didn't like. But the thing about it was, though, how he fucked up and stumbled over it. He said people make mistakes. That's not a mistake. Is that woman got shot? That man took aim and shot that woman in the face.
Well, the motherfucker shot at him in the ear is dead.
Right.
Yeah, but like I was saying though, I don't. When Kamala Harris first, I just get so tired of the symbolism and the tokenism. That makes us lose focus. We need policy. We need policy. We don't need to see Meg shaking her ass.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? We need policies to guarantee our protection. Like they say, they passed the Asian hate bill. You can't do nothing. You can't say if a police murders an African-American young man, he will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. Not one that's, somebody just fucked up. Not somebody shooting back at them or something like that. But they're trying to come up with an excuse, plant a gun on them and this, that, and the other. They always fear for their life when it come to us. But when it come to one of theirs, they apprehend them safely. Like that one day that when we was talking about how the mass shooters, I would present that if a motherfucker killed 17 people in the church, that he's armed and dangerous. I don't give a fuck if he did come out with his hands up. I might have to give him a leg shot or something. You know what I'm saying? Because clearly everybody that's unalive up in there, he's dangerous. But you or I, and then they just had, did you just see the video? I know you did, when the LA police hit dude in the face.
Yeah.
Like, what was that for, my guy? That was whole shit.
That
was bitch shit. That's like you still on a nigga with his back turned.
Right.
I would have, man, dude should have headbutted the shit out of dude. and then what? Now you shot him and he handcuffed. He feared for his life. You know what I'm saying? Like we keep on, and then by us keep on getting pandered to. Well, let's just throw them something and pat them on and then they gonna vote for us. They gonna come out in droves, and I'm with Kamala and this, that, and the other. Only reason people are definitely saying that because they instill this fear of us with Donald Trump about this 2025 shit. You know what I'm saying? Because like you said, there's so many people say, well, I'm not rocking with her. But now, they're like, what other choice do I got? To preserve the democracy and freedom of the United States, And another thing, like how you be talking about Chevy and stuff like that. I mean, we don't even have a president that meets up to the standard. We didn't even look at Trump when he was president. He had grabbed women by the pussy, hired fake electors. Like people really don't know what that man, a lot of the shit that man did. You know what I'm saying? And I don't even see how white people would still try to vote for him. Like if a nigga did shit like that, I don't even think it could be Democrats or Republicans. If a nigga did some shit like that to try, you can't even hire a motherfucker to go into work for you and your ass to get fired. You know what I'm saying?
So okay,
I just
hold on. So
go ahead, Kev.
Here's the deal. I hear Rizza Islam, and because Rail sent me some Rizza Islam. He put it in the Word Mob group. Dion sent me some Rizza Islam, and I listened to it, and everything Rizza Islam is saying is true. But I guess the point I'm trying to make to people is why we can't do this after we get rid of Trump, after we get a woman of color in office, then get to building out like this. Why do we wait until the game ain't even over? It's like you giving a speech at halftime, right? We still got a whole second half of ball to play. I'm gonna need for you to wrap this shit up and then get in tune with the team. So everything he said was accurate and like all the way. There's nothing he said that I disagree with. But I'm talking about timing, right? I'm talking about right now because
just be down for the black folk and against Trump.
Well, right. Well, it's a crucial thing. And so, like, me and Kamar was the other night, just shut up and dribble, right? This is what I'm telling people. And me and Kamar made this point adamantly and vehemently on the past 3 shows. If not her, then who? I hear everything you're saying about her. I hear all of the negative. I'm looking at black people saying, okay, so what the fuck is we gonna do then? Right? Like, it's like, okay, what's the plan? I don't hear anybody saying this person, that person, or this. I hear people saying the same. What we need is our own political parties. No shit, Sherlock. That's how we got in this situation in the first place. But since we don't have one right now, and we have a person with some semblance of color, not necessarily a foundational black American, but when has that been one of the qualifications for us giving you support? As much as some of y'all love white people, as much as some of you black people love white people, stop playing with me. Look, we talk about that after we beat back this Trump thing, no Diddy. After we beat that back and get a sister in there, or a semi-sister, or a part-time sister, or however fuck you want to classify her, it'll be melanin in the White House. Let's do that. And then let's say, okay, now this sister is here. Now, what he said, okay, I said I didn't disagree with anything he said, but there was one thing that I thought he might have missed on. He said, and then for the next 4 years, we don't vote in the midterms. If you're going to get in the political process, you got to get in it. You got to be in it to win it. That means you need to know when elections are and who the candidates are. You can't just take everything off after this. You still got to vote in the midterms because Congress and the Senate is very important. It's checks and balances. This is why the president doesn't have absolute power. We don't pay attention to those races. So yeah, there's a lull there. There's kind of like a sleepy kind of nature to our awareness when it comes to politics. And we think because we voted in one election, we good. We should be good now. Hell, we just had everybody in charge of Milwaukee black. The city is going down the toilet faster than a bitch.
So is. And they gonna blame it on all the niggas too. Like, see, we gave y'all a black this,
right?
Like that.
But that's what usually happens when somebody is in a position that look like us. They become the scapegoat to all the bullshit that was gonna flow through anyway. So shit never get better because a motherfucker look like us in office.
Let me say this too.
Yeah.
I talk shit about the mayor, but this ain't the mayor's fault. This the condition of this city. Let me make that, as Shabaka say, and I want to be clear about that, right? I want to make that very clear. I don't blame him. I don't blame him for the state of Milwaukee. My only issue with him is the lack of transparency and what I would define as honesty. And I don't see a progressive mind state. I don't see a leadership like a forward-thinking leadership. He doesn't represent something that's really going to uplift the people. He just appears as kind of like a bot, a tool of the party. He just so happened to be black. I'm not discounting his blackness because he might be, like, how is this nigga to say how black I am? Goddamn right. Like, so I'm just saying for how you're running our city and what we're facing, the condition, the state of the city, if you will. And I never hear you be honest about it. But you show up at murder scenes. You're fully aware of the homicides and the shootings because they have homicide commission meetings. They have this. I used to go at the police station when I was with Safe and Sound to the homicide review when they go over all the homicides in the community in a district. I think it was monthly. It was crazy. I couldn't even sit through one. I'm like, I'm getting the fuck out of here. They were showing pictures and everything from crime scenes. So that's my problem with him. But it's not his fault. It's not. I can't blame 70 years of discrimination and segregation on Chevy Cavalier, whatever his name is. What is it? Cavalier. I can't blame it all on him.
Cavalier.
Right. But I can say, bro, you got to do a better job if you want to get people, because right now it's looking like fraud, especially once again, I'm deviating back to all the promises that have been broken that was supposed to come along with this tax hike. And we see them falling by the wayside one by one. When is the city going to announce? Because this might be coming now. Once again, we call the shots on Outlaw Radio. When is it going to come that? Well, we didn't make as much money off the RNC. Tourism didn't pan out like we wanted to. Consumer spending is down, so we still have a deficit. So we're going to need, another tax hike. Here's the nail in the coffin in terms of gentrification, because you've already elevated property taxes in the city, right? So more and more and more, you're making this unaffordable. You know who can afford it when you gone? The gentrifiers that's staying in the luxury hotels downtown. Ain't nobody staying in no luxury apartment building for the rest of their life. We want houses. Okay, let's get these niggas out, get this crime out, and fix this community up, reinvest in the infrastructure of it, and then it'll pop. And then tourism will increase. And 1 million people will be in Milwaukee, and 5 of them gonna be black. I'm gonna be one of them. Everybody gonna be done left. I'm gonna be still trying to do a podcast somewhere.
I'm gonna be here popping off my cigars to all the yuppies. I want my cigars in country clubs.
Kamar said, I ain't going no goddamn where. I'm still be in my garden. Mama Jenkins said they don't have no one. Who the fuck? She said, what the fuck they need to do is shut the fuck up and just go vote. She said, either we stand for something or we fall for anything. I've been saying this city is ran by blacks, but the leadership is not doing shit. Yeah, I mean, what have they done? What grounds have we gained since we had this black leadership? Mama Jenkins said, I'm blaming all of them that's in leadership because they're not making changes. Yeah, that's part of it, Mama Jenkins. It is, but what they inherited was a mess, was a hot mess. But the former mayor was a nice enough guy to be able to charm people and be so friendly that people actually thought he cared when he really just fucking didn't. He's oblivious. I've seen him in person, and he's just a handshaker and a baby kisser. But in terms of real, strong, firm leadership, because believe it or not, he was in bed with the ideology of this whole, hey, man, let's take downtown and make this you know what I'm saying? He's the initiator of the gentrification. Our mayor now is just kind of like the motion man. He's making the moves, and he's supporting those.
We need a John Norquist back,
which is kind of controversial, but I mean, I could see how he was a little bit more forward thinking than either of the other mayors. But Norquist was something different too. And now, Dion, that's an interesting statement with Norquist, because Norquist got it from Meyer, who had 28 years as mayor. Now that's who really set this city. Mayor Meyer and his racist ass, and him and Harold Breyer. Y'all go back. I ain't gonna give y'all no history lesson on Milwaukee. Y'all got to go read this shit for yourself.
Milwaukee was a very socialist city, though. That's why a lot of people remember back in the days, everybody got a check. They used to have GA for men, and women was getting welfare. That's why a lot of people moved up here from Chicago and Gary.
Fucked our city up.
I mean, it probably was gonna head that way though.
But y'all, Chicago helped it. Chicago pushed us over the line. We was starting to suffer. Chicago said, "Jump, motherfucker." Chicago came.
It was motherfuckers getting shanked here and in Chicago.
I didn't say shank. I'm not talking about stabbings. I'm talking about just the condition of the community, which was already teetering.
I'm saying they was getting shanked.
Oh, yeah, because it's coming up here. Yeah, I'm sorry. They had whole other addresses up here.
Yeah, like when I first
I knew people getting
Hold on, Rail. Go ahead, Dion. Finish your statement.
Yeah.
Oh no, I was about to say when I first started coming up in Milwaukee, God, you could literally sleep with your nose open. I ain't lying to you. Like that's what attracted me here because I got tired of the gangbanging and shit. You know, in Chicago, it's certain sides of town you can't go. Like in Milwaukee, you could travel all over. You know what I'm saying? But when you affiliated, you gotta stay where the fuck you at. You know what I'm saying? If you get caught somewhere else, you get that belt on your ass, and you might not make it. You feel what I'm saying? So Milwaukee used to be sweet though. So I ain't gonna say that all the Chicago niggas did it, but Milwaukee was love though.
Yeah, we always blame it on Chicago people. People who from Milwaukee always say Chicago fucked our city up. That's what we do. I know you done heard that before. Go ahead, Rail.
Oh, no, I was just gonna say, yeah, I never knew people did that until about like 20 years ago, when somebody was drawing Social Security here, but they lived and worked in Chicago, but was like getting a Social Security check here or something, and they come here on the weekends and preach.
Yeah. Wow, just hustle all the way around.
So that's how the first time I said, damn, that's possible. Like
I don't know if I read this comment by Earl. He said legally Kamala has a right to the money, Kamar, because she was on the ticket with Biden. That's what he was. When you brought up that they was trying to go after her about the money, you muted.
Right. That's why I said I doubt if they would have did that and knowing it's illegal. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure it's some kind of loophole.
Mama Jenkins said, "KB, them niggas been there for years." That's Mama Jenkins, man. Mama Jenkins be snapping, man. Listen, I don't know if anybody's noticed this, but we've had this rash of missing young black women. This has been pretty consistent over this summer. I've seen so many different ads, and my daughter, anybody who from Milwaukee, if they're a black girl, a young black sister, if they're missing, she's gonna post it, Instagram, everywhere. And so there's a rash of missing girls. The latest is a 17-year-old. And they say when they say critically missing, that means this person is at risk of some sort, be it a mental health issue, or a drug problem, or some, alleged predator. But there's also, and I don't know if they found her yet, a 14-year-old girl, and she has with her a 3-day-old child. So I don't know what's going on. I know you got to be a little nervous now anytime a sister's missing here, because we found out that we had some cave dwellers who was chopping up sisters, right, and putting their body parts different places. And I've heard that as this investigation or his trial or whatever is going on, they found a whole bunch of other suspicious stuff. Like, and at one point they said his house had blood in it, but it was animal blood. I don't know too many people got animal blood just wasted. What is that on the floor? Oh, that's just animal blood. Don't worry about it, Kev. All right, cool. I didn't know what that was. Right? Like, this is some weird shit. But they found things belonging to other black women. So there's a lot to unfold. So to be discovered. So anytime we hear of young women, black women missing, it's a concern. Like, oh shit, where we going? Like, what is this? What's going on? Mama Jenkins says, she says, yes, KB, they were racist, but the blacks were living above water. My parents came from Arkansas and they had jobs, and we owned our house, and black folks that worked for a few dollars. my parents came up under that whole regime, but they were still racist as hell. I think, well, what started to let the air out of the balloon, so to speak, was the passing of open housing, because Mayor Meyer had been holding the racist infrastructure down through redlining and this kind of thing for a very long time. So we couldn't move in certain neighborhoods. We couldn't expand. But once open housing comes in 68, it kind of starts to change things, right? And so early 80s, from what they say, he had dementia. Like they say he was off his rocker towards the end. So it's an interesting read. Go, and they give him a lot of credit historically because they say he and Harold Breyer saved the city from those rioting niggers in 1967. Very interesting read. For people who come from here who don't know this city has real serious history, it's always crazy to me when I say, "Did you know this happened here?" They be like, "What? You bullshit." And they sound like the mayor. You bullshit. I ain't know that. I think something else that I seen this too today in the Journal Sentinel, and this is something that the DPI, and I know people say the Journal Sentinel's a rag, but whatever. It's an interesting tidbit, and I'd like to know if it's valid or not. The Department of Public Instruction, I guess they engaged in the mental health surveys in the youth in the state of Wisconsin, and they said 59% of all young people here feel depressed or suicidal. Like for right now, there's an epidemic amongst our young people of mental health issues due to anxiety, stress, and depression, right? We say these kids need their ass whooped. Their problem is they spoiled. They got it too easy. But they're saying, no, motherfucker, mentally, I'm just, I'm over what they call it when all your sensors just been, I'm sensory overload.
Overstimulated a little bit.
Yeah, there you go. It's overstimulated, sensory overload. And it's causing them to short circuit. And, we always talk about the role that food and nutrition has kind of played into this as we become more, all of us are guilty. Most of us are guilty of really raising our kids on a lot of processed food. I know we would give our kids Lunchables and, pizza and burgers when they wanted it and all this kind of stuff. I let my wife say no candy. They go to the store with me. They getting candy, soda, ice cream. I bring them home. She just proceeds to take it from them. So we are all guilty of that. And so I think that plays into it too. But 59% of the young people are feeling this way. Once again, I got to take it to my panel. Kamar, what do you think about this? Do you think this has any validity? Because we know in our community there's something going on with the mental health of our black kids, right? So what do you think?
I think it's all of that what you just said.
Okay.
And we can add nutrition in there too.
Okay.
You know what I mean? We can add nutrition in there. We can add that they just hungry. You know what I'm saying? But with the suicide thing, I really agree with that one too. Like we could look at the way they drive, the way these people driving out here. Like they knowing like that they friends and peers is dying from this shit. Like, you know what I mean? You gotta have some kind of infatuation with it, you know what I mean, to keep doing it. So I agree with that. All that.
Yeah, you just made me think about when I said because I think about suicide like, oh, I'm finna go somewhere, shoot myself, take some pills, whatever. But sometimes your behavior is suicidal.
Yeah, suicidal.
Like I don't have the confidence. I don't have the I'm not brave enough to do it myself. Right. So I'm gonna I'm gonna jump out the car with the police. I'm jumping out with the strap.
Hey,
like
let's look at how these drill rappers down there in Chicago doing. You know what I mean? They going at it on the internet. They crashing out to get some money. You know what I mean? They got their pages on YouTube, getting money off YouTube and shit because they got a bunch of followers and views from doing this dumb shit out here in the streets. You know what I mean? They on the internet beefing with each other. They online on FaceTime and they ops and shit going at it on there. You know what I mean? To get these checks. And I feel like that's suicidal behavior. They knowing they crashing out with this shit just to get views and looks. It ain't just to get views and looks, but for the clout of it all. And then the money come with it.
Okay,
but it's a suicidal behavior.
So okay, even in that regard, right? Yeah, we know that because that's how the powers that be have monetized the situation. So they can, because either we gonna catch them if they get a record deal and make some money, we'll catch that bread. But when they go to jail, we're gonna catch that bread. Right. But I'm saying like they're so hopeless to where, because we keep looking saying, well, why would you do this? Like, why would they do that? That hopelessness creates kind of a mode where I don't even care if I live or die. It is whatever. It's like literally, and that's a form to me. That's almost like passive aggressive suicide, I guess. I don't know. We would have to come. I'm sure there's a psychological terminology.
Well, it's like giving up on life.
Yeah, reprobated mind. That's what them old black people say.
It's
got
just
a
like
reprobated
giving up
mind.
on you, giving up on life.
Yeah, I don't know if Courtney's still with us. I want to get her take, but Rail.
But if you look at, go ahead.
Rail, what do you think about because you got kids and you know you deal in the neighborhood? What do you think about the mental health state of our youngsters here?
Well, like what'd you say? Like 59% of the kids.
59% of Wisconsin youth feel depressed or suicidal, and the percentages of those who suffer from depression and anxiety are high as well.
Well, hell, I believe if they did a poll of adults, 59% of adults.
79.
Right, more than that, because we got to take care of these kids.
Right.
I mean, just real talk though. I mean, not making light of it.
Right, no doubt.
I mean, life is real, and I have sons. One is 20 and one is 19. And my younger, my boy who's 19 now, we had this talk when he was about 17 and fucking up in school. And it was like, well, Dad, I just feel like I'm depressed. And it's like, well, why are you depressed? Because like school about to end. I'm not ready for the real world. Like you know, when you don't have a hope for tomorrow, you begin to live for today. And a lot of these kids are seeing parents. Like there's parents that got degrees and still struggling. So they like, my parent had the blueprint of what they was told the American dream was, and they shit still failed. And I ain't got a hope. At least back in the day, your degree got you a good job. Now you seeing people with degrees that gotta, you know, get it out the mud like people who don't. You know, so I could definitely understand where the hopelessness kind of comes into play. Because I mean, just from personal experience, the discussion I was having with my child, you know, but then you also got to bring in the fact of, like you said, the environmental shit, the lead in the water, the nutrition. They say 90% of your serotonin is made in your gut by your microbiome, but you have to have a healthy microbiome in your gut to produce serotonin. So because the way these kids eat, I got a 14-year-old. My lady will cook a whole Sunday dinner, and she just wants some noodles with fucking hot sauce on it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I can see where that might play a effect, but then also you got social media that has been created and primed for that dopamine hit. Just like any drug, that dopamine hit, like short form video is for them 15 to 30 second videos for that quick dopamine hit. But once you don't have that dopamine hit, just like people who used to do cocaine and shit, well, people still do it. But you remember they'd be like, well, shit, I get high because when I
just
high,
had some. I'm joking. I'm joking.
But they say, you know, or what we was taught in Dare, you know, there's the cycle of high and then depression. Then you get high because you're depressed. So I mean,
that's where I was going, Real, because I wanted to ask you, because we also at the same time coincidentally have an opioid epidemic, and a lot of these opioids are linked to prescription drugs, which people are giving their children when they take them to school and they say we want to do a plan. I used to write them motherfuckers. What would they call them? Brain farting right now.
The
IEP.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So we go there, and then whatever this says, then you follow suit, and you got your baby drugged up. And so when they get older, what do we expect? They're going to go and look for relief in some kind of substance, or, oh, I'm feeling depressed. Let me take an antidepressant, right? Pretty soon you don't know how to undepress yourself, and your tolerance is up for those pills. So you end up taking more and more and more, and it's not enough. You end up trying something else. Next thing you know, it's all bad. I want to get Courtney's perspective because I know she works with, you go and speak to young people in the community. You got a young son, 17, young bloke, as they call them, and you got two shorties. So mental health with our youngsters. Once again, the statistic from the DPI says 59% of Wisconsin youth suffer from depression or they have suicidal thoughts and anxiety and these kinds of things. What do you think about that?
I wish they would have did like a Wisconsin youth and then did like a Milwaukee youth. You know what I'm saying? To see what those numbers are, because I know in the city it's rough. I know, like Rail said, even adults are dealing with it. I know adults that have been dealing with these mental health issues and depression since they were kids. My baby daddy personally, I remember he said he had these feelings when he was like 8, and he didn't know what it was, and then a commercial came on. And it was breaking down what he felt, and they was like, "You're dealing with depression." And he told his parents, "They was like, boy, you ain't depressed." And that's the thing too. You know what I'm saying? Even if a kid tries to express it, you know, the parents be like, "Man, you don't know what you're talking about." When I kind of do a little bit. I'm trying to
You ain't
express
depressed.
it.
I'm depressed. Look at these bills.
Right. You know what I'm
Had
saying?
a depressed boy ass on that bus and go to school.
You forget worry about homework.
Right,
Yeah,
you got this house, you got food, what you depressed about? So yeah, mental health, I mean, compared from back then to now, like Real said, social media, you know, we're comparing ourselves to everybody. It's all this bullying, you know, motherfuckers push your ass to the edge. Even with these youth, they definitely, that shit is rough. And then Milwaukee is different. You know, I think this was the first place I had a fight. This was the first place I got ribbed. I mean, so many different things happened here that a motherfucker never knew about. So
what
if
a
you ain't kind
town.
of built for it tough, yeah, that should have break you because motherfuckers will rip your ass to death, like literally.
Yes.
Like you will go,
Yeah.
yeah.
There's no mercy. It never has. When I was young,
Yeah.
when you walk out on the porch, somebody way down the street already ribbing. You come out saying,
Waiting on you.
"Oh hell no, not with them shorts on." You looking down the street like, "How this motherfucker?" He in the window pointing at you like, "Look at those shorts, y'all!" Like I ain't even came off the porch yet. This dude ribbing me. Dion, you still with us?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You wanted to put in on this. I don't know if you had thoughts about this or what. Because I know you don't.
No, I basically agree with what Real and Courtney said. You know, a lot of times, you know, the children, they see what's going on in the household. They like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Like, mom's working all these hours, and you know, I'm putting a burden on them, and you know, school is hard on me. My friends, you know, social media, you know, a lot of those external attributes to play a part with it too. But just the uncertainty of life, and then you know everything that's going on because they see what's going on with this Trump and with the voting, and they like, well, why, you know, just hold on, my throat got dry. They like, damn, you know, things ain't getting better, and you know, sometimes people, now I don't know why they feel like that. You know, I don't even know where that comes from, but they'd be like, well, maybe my life would be better if I went here, or maybe someone else's life would be better. You know, I see my mom every night crying, and you know, it seems like she could barely make it in the scene. Like I'm putting a burden on her, or you know, just what's the uncertainty of life when I grow up. So it's like, you know, all that type of stuff play a part in those children, you know, and basically like another thing, like Real said, because you know, I was talking to the principal of my school today, and you know, I make light of it, but you know, we deal like, you know, I brought up things that we were talking about on the Outlaw. And I was like, well, from my understanding, I heard we got this one little boy. Man, I can't. I know it's not his fault, but I can't stand it. He need a handler. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, you know, no, seriously though. And then we was talking about him. And I was like, I heard y'all get extra money for that. And then she said, no. She said, we get extra money to hire staff to deal with someone of his caliber, but we don't get no extra money. So, and I was like, yeah, that's messed up. So a lot of these kids, and then this one girl, you know, they was talking about her, and she was like, her son is over there whooping her ass. He hate her, and he 8 years old. I said, listen, she needs to remove him from her household because she'll be like that woman who little boy killed her for that video game. You know, and people probably was telling her, she's like, no, I don't want to do that to him. I love him and this, that. But sometimes you have to do self-love. And if your child has a psychological issue that you are not trained to deal with, then he must be removed and put somewhere where they can handle that and maybe get some treatment and some medication to help him deal with these type of things that's going on with him. So a lot of these children, you know, are kind of doomed from the beginning, you know, especially, I don't even know how all this ADHD, all this old weird shit, you know, I guess it's from the lead and the atmosphere, you know, because their parents are using drugs and then they birth the child and they wonder why this motherfucker rocking uncontrollably and he's talking to himself and kicking holes in the wall and, you know, doing all that. So, you know, a lot of them are doomed before they even have a chance to even make decisions for themselves. And then they come out here in this world, and then this ain't no better. And then, like Courtney said, you know, because I was a person that I kind of still am. I rev the shit out of somebody. Anybody can get it. I don't give a fuck who he is. Kid, grandmama, person is dead. I'm just on your ass. You know what I'm saying? And then so they probably don't have the clothes and. Well, I'm for real. They probably don't have the shoes. They probably don't have the shoes and the clothes and things like that. And they come to school and a motherfucker roast their ass, and then they feel like I want to die. And they say,
Well, I think what we have to examine, especially in the Black community, is what kind of conversations are we having with our children, right? So I thought it was very poignant that Rel stated that his son, as a 17-year-old, felt close enough to him to talk about, I'm just scared, like I don't know what's finna happen. My whole life is about to change. And I experienced that as getting ready to graduate from, we all do. When you get ready to graduate and you staring that last month down at you, and you say, yeah, everybody like, hey, we finna graduate. Ooh, and most of y'all thinking, I don't know what the fuck I'm finna do, right? And especially if you got parents like mine who've told you continuously and forever, when you turn 18 and you get out of school, you got to get the fuck up out of here. And I can't wait. I'm tired of you. And so it's like, I got to figure out something that I'm a goddamn do. You know what I mean? And I was happy because I'm like, shit, I know I'm going to school. So it just alleviated a lot of that. So I think we as parents need to, you sitting down with your teenager and you know when they going through something, because you know their behavior. When he laying around and he lazy and the shit that y'all normally do, you joking with him. Hey man, what's wrong with you? Nothing, ain't nothing wrong. I'm a jerk. You gonna tell me what's wrong. I sit on the end of your bed.
The issue is
when you ready to talk, because I can't have you moping around here like this, knowing that this is not your personality. I don't know if the parents are too worn out, like my brother said. If you really the working poor problem that we have up here, where I got to go to work. I got 2 jobs. I don't have time to be sitting here, therapying you. That's not a word. Therapy. It is now. Courtney said it is now.
I say therapize, and that's my personal.
There we go.
I got here therapizing niggas and shit.
Yeah, you got to do that with your babies, man. And how much are we paying enough attention to how they moving? Because when behaviors change, something's amiss. That ain't what you do. That ain't how. I'm the one who gave you the first when you was a baby, and I rolled a little ball out, and you got so excited, like Now you just become this emo. You in your room and all my feelings and there. Hey man, we need to get some help around here. I used to sign individuals up for family counseling when I was a wraparound care coordinator. So you go in and sit in one of them sessions, that shit get brutal. A motherfucker start telling the truth about you did this and you did that. You be like, whoa, I don't know if I should be here for this. I think I'm gonna let him handle this. So yeah, mental health is real, and it's something in the Black community that we've avoided and ignored for a very long time because we've never really had the money for the high price psychologists and psychiatrists. I ain't got no money for no goddamn therapist. What are you talking me? You want $75 an hour? Shit, what Courtney say? You better get your ass therapized, take you to church, and you talk. I'm Deacon Jones. Can you be his mentor and shit? Hanging around. I'm gonna show you how to change a tire, boy. You're making him more depressed. So let me catch the chat room. Mama Jenkins in the chat room. She says, when I was reading that, I thought of the behaviors of our children, their diets, education, drugs, and no teaching within the homes. The system has created the madness, plus the environment that they are surrounded by plays a major role in survival. This is my brother John Fletcher. He said, check this out, fall MKE rec. We got classes for them to learn and get these life skills. Kids, parents, equal family. MPS rec has always been like we had that on the playgrounds when we was young. And he used to gave some kids some right at Phillip where they used to take with the wooden bowling pins. And I don't know if they had stopped that by the time you came along, but they used to open up the side of the building in the summer and you had a rec worker and ropes and basketball.
Yeah, they used to have it.
Okay.
And that bubbler that was on the outside of the building.
Yeah. Like you remember very well, right? Right.
It has some
It's
cold
the
ass
one down in the
water
corner because it always smelled like piss in the corner. So it's just the one that was left. I know.
I
Yeah.
remember when I was growing up on the playground, they had a shack. And the shack used to always have kickballs, basketballs, footballs, tennis rackets, tennis ball, all that shit.
Yeah.
And the center used to hire somebody to work at the shack.
MPS Rec. Yeah, that's what we talking about.
That
MPS
was
Rec.
so dope, man.
Yeah, that's MPS Rec. They just had a green shirt on.
This wasn't MPS Rec though. This was before all that. This was when I was a real little kid.
Ever since I can remember,
like,
Philip had MPS Rec. That's only.
This was something in Westlawn.
Where's Philip at?
It's closed now. It was on 16th and Olive. But Keith Avenue, Green Bay Avenue, Silver Spring, Garden Homes, all these schools had the same thing. And in our area, I don't know. Kamar, you came up somewhere like different, right? You from
well, no,
Westlawn.
I was talking about in Westlawn when I was growing up. I want to say when I was real young, up till
That's
know
what
what
I'm
I mean.
saying.
I want to say somewhere around 88 and before. You know what I mean? They had what it was called the shack on the playground, and this was it wasn't MPS Rec. It was just something that they had. You know how like back in the day they had football teams, intramural football teams, basketball teams, and all that shit. Well, I'm guessing it was something like that, like how all the different neighborhoods had centers.
Y'all had the Silver Spring neighborhood center and all
you know what I'm
kinds
saying?
of
All
stuff.
those different types of centers. So I guess they had funding for that shit.
We didn't have no get one of them damn kickballs. We didn't have no community center. In our neighborhood, we didn't have a Boys and Girls Club. We didn't have a community center. We didn't have a YMCA, nothing. We just had playgrounds and parks. And you take your ass there and burn all that interest off. I mean, that energy off.
We had Tyler.
You said who? Are you breaking up, Dion?
I said we had Tiff and Tyler Park on 27 Cherry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Teef and Tyler. I've always wondered how to say that shit. Like, how do you even say that? Right? Teef and Tyler. Look.
Hey, now.
Mama Jenkins, John Fletcher said that's why we have to catch these kids and parents when they're young to put back the self-esteem and confidence in the youth. That's why I always encourage athletics, because kids build a lot of confidence playing sports as youngsters when faced with these challenges. Like, so my thing is, as a parent, have you worked with your child on being comfortable when they're uncomfortable? Like letting them know every situation that you go into ain't gonna work to your favor. Sometimes you got to work your way in. Sometimes you got to build. Sometimes you have to establish relationships with people instead of just saying, "Oh, everybody hates me, Dad." Like, what are you doing? Are you one of them weirdos who like kind of makes people hate you by like digging in your booty in the lunchroom or something? You know those kids like that I went to MPS with, like he always digging in his nose, wiping it on shit. That's why everybody hates you. It's because you just
that's some
like
good
the
advice,
booger man.
Because I'll be over here telling them, you know what I'm saying, when things happen to punch everybody in the face. No, we can't be punching everybody in the goddamn face, can we? No. So you know what? Let's work on some other thing. But they also on Wauwatosa, and them white kids be on that other shit. And I'm like, this what we not finna do. We're gonna bust them in their motherfucking mouth.
That's a long task, Courtney. For you, especially for you to have young black kids in a place like Wauwatosa, to be able to get them through that, because they will stamp them early out there and really try to subjugate them and say no. And they are expected, like it turns into that shit where, why I gotta let a motherfucker post some pineapples and fruit and shit on me in the lunchroom? I'm whooping his ass. But they know you're gonna get kicked out. So we as parents are like, no, you gotta stand. Kids, like, I ain't no goddamn civil rights worker. I'm finna whoop somebody's ass. And
one of them is passive. You know what I'm saying? My little Montessori child, he kind of passive. But then my youngest one, they got the IEP, little ADHD. You know, he running wild. He don't get up. So it's like, you know, the passive one, well, both of them, because sometimes they can't really fight. They kind of getting bullied, treating away. And it's like, look here, goddammit. We're not going to be passive.
You still got them wrestling?
Yeah, and then it's even in wrestling like they playing too damn much. We was there today. I'm like, hey, man, we not here playing with they.
How old are they, though?
God damn it, we not here for that.
How old are they?
They're 7 and 9. Throw these
no, you ain't getting to play out of no 7 and 9-year-old boys. No, they're gonna play wherever they go.
Look, today I'm thinking maybe we need boxing because this shit here they playing too much.
That's why you get in football practice, and when you get caught playing around, you got to run. Sooner or later, they learn. Like, and then the whole team be mad at you, like, you always making us run, motherfucker. We gonna fuck you up. So pretty soon he starts standing in line, minding his business and shit. And he, you get smacked. So you get a rep. So no, smack him. Okay, boom. Everybody hitting him in practice. He crying and shit.
I don't want you getting smacked by no white boys, and I'm feeling white. I'm gonna say punch him in their mouth. Don't you let them white boys smack you.
Yeah, well, you might as well take them out of Wauwatosa now then. Put them in MPS because that's what's gonna happen as soon as they get big enough. As soon as a white person, I'm whooping your ass up in this lunchroom. Hello, Miss Francois. This is Principal Johnson. Can you come get him? The whole goddamn lunchroom up, and then not to add, you tell them to punch people in the face and shit.
In the face.
Right? No, don't do that. That's counterproductive.
But he said he kind of scared to punch people in the face. I'm like, are you scared to punch people in the face? He's like, yeah. I'm like, damn. So we need like a punch bag with a picture on it or something. We gotta.
No, he should be scared to punch people in the face. He's a child.
Because it's not right.
7 years old. Like, I'll beat your motherfucking ass. Like, whoa, son.
Yeah, you shouldn't want to hit people in the face. Their face is not right, really.
It'll come to him. It only take him to try to humiliate him one
everybody time. Everybody ain't killers either, Courtney.
I know.
You have kids that ain't in they tarot card. And then you get that motherfucker that's a monster.
Hey, that's how Mike Tyson was till somebody fucked with his pigeon.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Look, I need somebody fuck with one of his geckos. Another side might come out.
Wrap. Got the next boxing champ.
Right. What they do? Tear the head off the pigeon or something like that? And Mike said, I just snapped. I lost it. I lost it. He lost it, right? Mama Jenkins said, I have some young folks that I need to refer. What's the ages and times these classes take place? She's speaking to my brother, John Fletcher. Fletch, you can communicate with Mama Jenkins directly. The one thing about Outlaw Radio that I noticed is most of the people who be on the show actually communicate away from the show with each other, right? Like, so I be thinking, they don't talk unless they're on the show. No, because I be seeing them commenting on each other's posts, and I'm like, at least my ego says they met because Outlaw Radio. They might be lifelong friends. I'm still gonna take the credit. It doesn't matter. Look, I want y'all to be. I think if we're gonna take positives out of this summer, because summer's slowly but surely coming to an end. Culturally, because we're gonna get to the end of 2024, and we're gonna look back. 2024 has been a crazy year. It's been one hell of a year. It started out with the whole Cat Williams set it off in January, and it hasn't slowed down since, right? Like, this is the year of people putting each other completely out there for whatever and however, whenever, in whatever fashion, whatever platform. But I feel like culturally, in terms of rap and hip hop, because I'm always going to reference hip hop because it's the soundtrack to my life, my youth, and all of that. I think this has been a productive summer for the culture because there's been more people speaking out against things that are anti-community, right? Like things that are dysfunctional. And like in the past, we would just kind of let certain things go because we've seen this rise to power of female rappers, and many people got different names for it. What they call it, the horror culture. What you call it, Kamar? You call it the what do you call it? The hooker culture. See, and so people call it hoe house rapping. So but the culture has stood up to say, hey, we don't want that. We want more of this. But old heads, for some reason this year, have been putting out dope music. Like, I'm not the biggest LL Cool J fan in the world.
LL came back.
Really old stuff. He's all right, but people give him more credit to.
Y'all know it took me a minute.
I don't like that. I'm bad though.
But he has a new album out, which is not bad. I heard something off Rakim's album. Rakim just released the first album in 19 years. I heard a song with him and Corrupt and somebody else on it. It's dope. The Dog Pound album, believe it or not, because I was hesitant, like I don't want to hear you rapping about being a Crip at 60, but it's got some shit on there. And like Quick is making music with other musicians in California. The young boy, I forget his name. I play a song all the time. It's called Angel.
You talking about Kendrick Lamar?
No. It's a young brother. I forget his name. His name is eluding me right now. But no, that's Bay Area. But Quick has a whole album he just made with this young brother, and I'll come up with his name. But he's like a real musician. Like he plays horns and all that kind of stuff. He's real dope. But what I'm saying is, the energy kind of shifted from, because for a minute young people was like, man, if you don't sit your old ass down. And like old rappers was putting out music, and even I would listen to it and be like, that ain't it, bro. Just smoking that wine, smoking that reefer, drinking that wine, gang banging. It all sounded like that Smokey Robinson joint, right? And so, but no, I'm noticing now because my head nods a little bit more. Smooth B and Greg Nice put out music, and that's Nice and Smooth if you don't know.
Who? When they? God damn!
Yeah.
When they did this,
and they're hits.
Where's you listening to this at? I didn't even know the Dog Pound had a new album.
I'm thinking the same thing. Video finding this music.
Snoop and Dre, Snoop and Dre about to drop a collab
album.
Gin and Juice. November. He says it's called Missionary.
Yeah, I didn't.
What's it called?
I don't know none of
it. He said it's called Missionary. He said because his first one was Doggy Style.
So this was Missionary.
Missionary, no Diddy. Do you guys say no Diddy with that, Kev? Because we know how you always got
when I think of missionary, I tend to think of that as a hetero position with a man and woman. But I guess anything is possible. So you could say no Diddy. I don't.
Yeah, you need to say no Diddy because I heard that
you higher level gay if you do it missionary style. You like
I
a
was just watching,
they do the bottom. Yeah,
I haven't heard. I don't have any details on it. You ain't even got to ask me. Do I care? If you didn't know, I don't know. I have no idea.
Hey, what's that nigga name? That's why I don't fuck with him. I was watching some movie. What's his name? He played in Living Single, and I was like, what the fuck going on here? You know what I'm saying? I heard it was some old weird ass movie. He was gay. And that shit, man. I ain't even see it. I just knew he got in that position and cocked his legs up, and I said, "Beep." And I
know Mike Epps plays somebody gay because they always say the man got to play somebody gay or put a dress on.
I've never seen Mike Epps play no gay.
Exactly. So I just started watching The Sopranos, right? So it's real quick. Season 1, they come busting this gay dude apartment. You know what I'm saying? Trying to shake him down for some money. His lover is in the room. You know what I'm saying? They bust in the room. Who is the lover? Oh my God, no! It's Mike Epps, nigga. It's maybe all the 3 seconds. Yeah, season 1. I'm like, damn. Who?
He probably was trying to get on.
And that probably was what it was. He's been on ever since. That was
need to share that video, Courtney.
I'm gonna find
it. Hell yeah. So Mike coming back up here in September at the Improv. And I'm thinking about going to see him. I'll be like, you was a sissy, you punk.
I don't listen. That's something else when I start thinking about the mental health issue with kids is because, and I said sensory overload, and Courtney said overstimulation, because kids are faced now with sexuality way earlier than they need to be.
Yeah.
And it's as simple as watching a lot of TV where there's people who's naked and nude, and like if we saw a woman in a bikini when I was growing up, we was like, oh snap, like that's Daisy Duke jeans, right?
Yeah.
Like we was so infatuated with Daisy Duke. As a man, you realize she had on some little shorts, but she had the German boots. Right?
I ain't like Daisy
so
Duke.
Fine. Daisy Duke was fine. Like no, she wasn't. Like so.
No, she ain't do it, bro. She ain't do it. I ain't like Daisy Duke. I can't remember what white girl I used to really like.
Wonder Woman, Linda Carter, who we find out now is partially black. Yeah, I used to love Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman.
Hell yeah.
And Three's Company. Yeah. I liked Janet when I was little. Like, wow, I love Janet. Like,
but I looked at all the old shows. Like, I like. Do you remember That's My Mama?
Yeah. With Clifton Davis.
Yeah. And then I liked old girl King. From What's Happening. Yeah, I like the old girl. And she's still my baby to this day. Regina King. Oh my God, on 227. Lord have mercy. That
so before we leave the point and get to talk reminiscing about how fine Claire Huxtable was, my point is kids, that adds extra pressure on our children now because they get confronted by each other. If you think when we 5 and 6, 7 years old, we was so busy just being little kids, right? that we wasn't saying to each other, "Are you gay?" or "That nigga's gay," or "He a fag." Like we didn't talk like that because we didn't know what that was. I still remember the first time I seen a man. No, I didn't. I remember the first time I seen a man dressed up. Well, he had makeup on and he had some clogs on. This was like 1979. Like women used to wear clogs. I don't know if y'all remember these shoes. And I coming out of the dentist with my father. Here's this man coming. He has makeup on. He has a purse. He has these women's shoes on. And I look at him and say, "Whoa, hey, I thought that was a man, Daddy, but that's a woman." He said, "No, it ain't. That's a sissy." And then he proceeded to explain to me all the way home what a sissy was. His choice of language would not be crucial, like, feasible now. But these are the conversations I had this conversation with my son when he was young. Like, look, man, that's not a woman, and a man ain't supposed to do that. Some people say you're wrong for telling them that. But I wanted to already let him know you ain't even got nothing. That's not even something you got to worry about. You don't know nothing about that. So kids are feeling this pressure now, like, oh, I'm objectified. Even the way they dress. Go ahead, Real.
Oh no, I was just gonna say we had so we was exposed to it because there was a person on our block that he walked funny. Well, the people said he switched, so it was like, oh, he gay. But then back then they treated people who might have been homosexual as if they were pedophiles. You know what I'm saying? Like they almost blurred the two. No, watch them boys around him. He gay. It's like, damn, But now as an adult, it's like that's his preference. He ain't say he like kids, he like men. But so we was exposed to it. Gay. But we was exposed to it, but it was like, hey, watch out for him, shit like that. But what I was gonna say with these kids too is what we don't understand is like what I learned recently in that emotional intelligence class I had. We don't know an emotion. Until we put a name on an emotion, we don't know that emotion and we can't like express it or tell about it. So having these kids like sit down and tell me how you feel. I don't think your prefrontal cortex is like fully developed till you like 22 or some shit, 25.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you gotta throw darts at it though, Real. Like you have to say,
right? Are you sad?
Are you sad?
You gotta know enough to. Like you got depressed ass parents who don't know how to convey their emotions, dealing with depressed kids, and boy, what the fuck you mad for? They done got mad because it done revealed inadeptness in them to be able to do this. So now they took it personal. But that's why we teach. Be able to name it. We was taught that men are socialized to express any negative feeling as anger, and women have been socialized to express any negative feeling as sadness. So they could be confused or anxious. They gonna show it in crying. Men could be confused or anxious. They might show it in anger because those are the feelings that they were taught were safe to express.
I don't know, because from an early age, my kids, and I only raised these two, so I don't know what everybody else's experience is. My kids were very expressive about, especially my daughter. When she was sad, she was gonna let you know. Like, and what's wrong with you? And she, and even if it was something like very minor, right? Like, well, I ain't want the bumblebee to die and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, well, you had him in a jar and it's like 90 degrees outside on the porch. And I say, look, you're supposed to put holes in the top of the jar. Oh, I didn't know I killed him. So she's sad, right? And it's like, you got to talk her out the tree. Like, first of all, it's like a million bees out here, Taylor. Like, we'll catch 3 more tonight and put holes in the top and then they'll live. Just as a parent. So when she was sad, she expressed it. When my son was sad, he expressed it. Even to the point where in the beginning of his football career, he practiced like he was Walter Payton. He would get to the game and be like, I'm not doing this shit. He was scared. And I had to explain to him, what you feeling is natural. You're nervous. You scared. You scared. There go that word again. There's fear again, Courtney. He looking at what's happening on the field and the physicality is scaring him. He's scared of that. So he's saying, and I had to, hey man, listen, I don't mind if you don't want to play because you don't have to. But don't make a situation where you want to play, but you won't try it because you're scared. Don't let fear rob you of opportunity. Once he followed that and me telling him, It's just like practice. Psychologically, you flying around in practice. In the game, it's the same thing. So all the way to the game, I be saying, Kevin, it's just like practice. It's just like practice. He got over the fear. And when he started playing, he said, I love this shit. I know you do. So once again, it was a question of, I ain't making you play football, right? But say you don't want to play because you don't like it. I don't want to play this. This shit ain't for me. I ain't trying to get hit and shit. Cool. Let's do something different. But not because they bigger than me. Man, if you don't get your ass out there, because that's life. In life, you got to fight. You, like Courtney said, it's rough. The city, Milwaukee will tear your ass up. You ain't got the right state of mind. Boy, you be somewhere holding a sign. And that rhymed. Holding the sign, right state of mind. Okay, whatever. But you see these people now, we got more beggars than we've ever had. Just ass out in front of the liquor store. Oh, well, say, man, you got $2. No,
Hey.
I don't got $2 for you.
No.
Right.
They
So
setting their own hours.
right. Then walk around the corner and get in the Benz and pull off, right?
Exactly. They setting their own hours and they still alive. So something must be working.
I just want, before we go tonight, because I've been trying to get out of here at 9:30 or close to it. Because I'm gonna stop beating the dead horse. Will somebody please help Tiffany Haddish? How many asinine moments does Tiffany Haddish has to have? She's in Zimbabwe for whatever reason, and they have a grocery store. And she's amazed that there's a grocery store in Africa.
Oh, yeah, she's ignorant.
Oh, my God.
She walking around with her phone. She walking around with her phone out talking about, look, y'all, and they got vegetables, and it's a huge grocery store. I'm in Africa. Even their leader came on like, we don't want you in our country. Like, he was pissed. Like,
did he?
Yeah, before this, she went off on a rant because they asked her about the college kids who was protesting Gaza. She said, fuck college. I ain't go to college. I don't give a fuck about college. I didn't go to college. Fuck y'all. I'm like, you're speaking at a college, Tiffany.
Right. What the fuck is wrong with her?
This the same chick who pulled up on the red carpet and pulled some fried chicken out of her purse. And was like, I ain't had to wait for no food. I brought me some chicken. It's like, Tiffany, come on. Somebody talk to this sister, right? Like, who did she get out? She got a DUI arrest and she jumped out here talking about somebody business, somebody relationship or shit. And that was, I think it was Monique or somebody. And they was just like, dude, you got multiple DUIs. Get your ass out of here.
You might have a mental health episode. We don't know.
Yeah, she said she's had mental health issues. She speaks on it.
Yeah.
And I thought she had traced her lineage back to Africa. Is that why she was there?
I don't know. I didn't do enough research on it. I don't know how she
left her ass. She saying nobody got time for that shit. I would have left her ass too. Like, look, I ain't doing this with you. You're gonna be embarrassing me. What the fuck? So I'm not gonna do this.
I want her to come out and support Kamala.
You know what I want to know though? This is what I want to know. I want to know that Aisha Carr's cousin intentionally do that out of malice and say that she didn't stay there where she was supposed to be staying at. I hope she come back on the show so we can find that out. They say that girl faced 13 years.
Yeah, it's a heavy felony.
So her cousin turned in that info?
Well, that's lying. They consider that lying under oath or whatever. It's almost like perjury.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's why she should have gave me her info. Because I'm going to hold her down and keep her money on her books if she go to the joint. And shit, when she come home, shit, daddy will be away for her.
Dion is I ain't even got no words for that.
I held her down, the money on her book.
Let's make you think he's going into some serious shit because I'll tear that ass up. Like, whoa, brother. Somebody get Dion some women. Get him some dates, man.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna be down at the Sherman Phoenix this weekend with all the women.
Okay.
They don't like you there. They don't like you.
They don't like you.
No, they don't like you. They just spoke on that shit. Your ass being there doing too motherfucking much. You don't know how to keep it P like you used to. But then I guess you used to. You was grabbing asses everywhere and shit. So no,
I ain't grabbing nobody
shit everywhere.
Women like that shit.
They don't like it. They didn't say when you walk into Phoenix, I was there. I saw the expression on the face. It's like, here, this nigga.
I want to hear Kamar. I want to hear him. If he say he ain't like it, then I chill out when I come.
Well, I didn't see it.
You probably done.
I didn't see it, but I didn't see it, but I have heard a couple people saying, "Hey, that guy that was in there with Kevin with the glasses is a bit aggressive."
Yeah, I chill out. Don't do that, Cam. Don't do that, Cam. Hey, I'm just trying to mag on. I'll be trying to mag on the holder.
Hey, Dion,
playing all game.
you know, I understand when you say there are certain women who do like that, but I would say a majority of women would like for you to just like not be so enthusiastic. Like, damn, baby, what's happening? Ooh, shit, girl. Ooh, you got big. Oh, can I grab that ass? I think a lot of women are like, hold on.
They're gonna be at the Sherman Phoenix.
I didn't want to say that.
If I see you, sir, if I see you, you ain't even gotta worry about it.
Wow. Oh my God. Come on. What time to talk about your event? Because we know that's the big thing coming up. Like,
it's Saturday, 10 to 5. Saturday, 10 to 5. We got Doyle Brewer in the building helping the brothers again with the pardons and expungements. Again, the fellas left again last time with smiles on their face with information. We got what else we got? We got EPU security doing personal self-defense. We got Dontre doing the guided meditations. We got Darrell Jefferson, Rail right here doing emotional intelligence. It's going down, y'all. Saturday, we in the building.
Yeah, y'all get down there and support that man. I'm gonna be looking forward to all of the videos because one thing Kamar's gonna do during the event is be outside hollering, "Mama, that go to CMOS, man."
There go that CMOS, man.
Courtney, what you got coming up this weekend?
I have to work. I always have to work nowadays. Got to get the monies, but I am working on a back to school event for August 31st. So right now I'm out here trying to get money, trying to get gift cards, trying to get sponsorships and donors, people donating bounce houses, food trucks. So, now I need the book bags and the supplies. That's what, yes, there's the Cash App to Kev right there. So Kev can send those funds my way. If you guys would like to donate to the book bag drive, August 31st.
Correction. Whatever come in my Cash App, go to Kev.
He's going to send it my way. If you donate, make sure you put book bag drive on top in the subject.
Don't do that. Send it straight to her. Don't use my Cash App. Don't use my Cash App.
That's what I'll tell you about the Outlaws. And I thought cash money was the Army, better yet the Navy. See how you be acting, Kev?
You see, most of them dudes left the label over money, right? Most of them dudes left because their contract was bad. Real, you gonna be down there doing the emotional intelligence. How is this? What is this? Why should I do this? How does it benefit me?
Well, like I wrote in my book, 12 Steps to Becoming Your Own Dope. As a black man in America, it would behoove you to get to a point where someone else's words, looks, gestures cannot move you beyond the logical or rational response because you're too engulfed in your emotions and driven by ego. So one of the two things I want to emphasize in the class, so I go over the 5 different modules of emotional intelligence, but the 2 I really like to focus on is self-awareness and self-regulation, so that you can identify the feelings within yourself as well as be equipped and empowered to regulate those emotions so that you can express them in an intelligent, productive way versus, feeling and reacting. We do too much feeling and reacting. We don't do enough thinking and responding. So I really want to emphasize the importance of self-regulation so that when we find ourselves in situations that may not be right, they may not be what a motherfucker should have did to us, but if we keep our cool and navigate through that situation intelligently, we can not only live to tell the tale, but hopefully live to press charges if the motherfuckers were wrong.
Okay. In light of what we just discussed about like mental health, right? And there's a name for that now. You say emotional intelligence, but we used to call it grow the fuck up. That's what, my parents would say to me. you need to grow your ass up. Right? Like you worry about the wrong shit. Like you mad and sad about this when this and that and this is happening over here. You need to get your ass over here and do this and that. So mental health, any kind of conditioning right now that's positive for your critical thought processes. And the key to it is even as an adult, don't never think that you can't benefit from some of this stuff. Like I've seen a million TED Talks, right? Just throughout going to grad school and going through the doc program. We TED Talks was like you had to watch that shit this month we had 7 we got to watch. And so a lot of times I'd be saying, I don't want to see this shit. I don't want to hear these white people talking. But once I start listening to them talk about training your mind and what you have to overcome, like I think the biggest one was it was a white lady talking about vulnerability. She was just talking about something as simple as going to the doctor's office, like how much anxiety some people feel over going. I'm one of them about going to the doctor because when they tell you something's wrong or you have some issue, you just feel super vulnerable. Like, damn, what? I'm sick. Like I'm breaking down. So to go to these things and even some of these trainings that I go through at work sometimes, like these professional developments and all this kind of stuff, you learn from it. So I'm just telling people to start really working with your mind. There's mental exercises you can do. And then when you get in these situations where you face with issues, right? I think that's one thing my kids can tell you about them growing up is they never had to sweat over the lights being off. They never heard or seen a situation where we didn't have food or they didn't have clothes or we couldn't do something for them. What they didn't see was the struggles that were there for us to do it. They didn't know about it because we kept it from them. It wasn't their business. You just go ahead and be a kid and let me worry about this shit, okay? And so I think a lot of people right now, their relationship with their kids kind of overlaps like being a friend or a confidant or I can talk. I ain't got no business talking to you about my relationship or my relationship issues or my relationship with your mother or your father. And people say, I keep it real with mine. Well, then you fucking them up. Because they're too young.
Real depressed.
Well, you putting way more on them than they should have to even deal with.
Right.
And like it's like when you having problems in your relationship and you go talk to somebody else instead of that person. Like I always advise anybody who asks me, and I hate when people ask me for any kind of relationship advice, honestly. I tell them, talk to them first before you talk to me. Don't come talking to me venting and you ain't spoke to them. Because most of when it comes my turn to talk, I'm going to say, well, have you talked to her about it? Not yet. Well, how the fuck you talking to me then? Hang up now, nigga. Run. Go talk to her or him, right? Like, so emotional maturity is very, very, very important. I guess I'm giving you some credit on just kind of picking that to say, people can benefit from this. I think that's very crucial. And I've tried to teach my kids that, like, look, especially now, both of y'all grown. Oh, this shit just getting started. This shit is just getting started. So hopefully the parental boot camp that we've put them through throughout their childhood has them prepared. But at the end of the day, as a parent, you still got to be there ready to support in any shape, form, or fashion that you can, right? Because they're going to fall. It ain't if something happens, it's when. You learn it. So I guess I'm just encouraging my people that when we keep talking about solutions, most of it's going to start right inside your own household. Like we think it's supposed to be some law or some legislation that's going to be passed that Tuesday going to be better than Monday was for black people. That's not going to happen. What we want and what we need as a people starts within our own homes. It gets confusing sometimes and it gets hard to do, especially if poverty is involved. Because like we said, I'm working my ass off just to keep a roof over our head. Sorry I missed your little high school hijinks that you was having yesterday, dealing with your girlfriend, dumping you, or some motherfuckers calling you. I missed it because I had to work 2 double shifts. I'm tired. I'm asleep. So if this city wants to help us or help anybody for that matter that's poor and downtrodden, it starts with you attacking the source of that poverty. And what it is in Milwaukee is just you're not bringing viable employment here. No way, another way about it. We losing businesses. You're raising the cost of living here, but you're not increasing the wages. You goddamn right consumer spending is down. I can't wait to see how they spend this $19 million deficit and try to make it our responsibility to, we got another tax hike. Goddamn property tax levy going up again. That's reckless and that's foul on the part of these leaders. I don't blame DC for it all by himself, but I do kind of give him some of the side eye because you was adamant in talking about how the benefits of what y'all just did to save Milwaukee and Milwaukee County from a fiscal cliff. Now you come back 6 months later and say we got a $19 million deficit. Milwaukee County.
They rather give Snoop Dogg a proclamation.
Instead of asking him where he get his weed from, because we finna legalize this shit, right? Right? You ain't even bring him to Juneteenth. You ain't even bring the man to Juneteenth. Right.
All these abandoned grocery stores and warehouses, we can have plenty grow facilities. So that would create employment too. Employment and money coming in. Or money staying here so we ain't got to go to Illinois for the weed or Michigan.
I was like, they for sure could give us these buildings.
Our leadership is not thinking outside the box because we're not requiring them to. You know, a lot of us think we get in good with them and it can benefit us financially or position wise because we all trying to come up out the gutter, say get it from the mud, right? That's what we say. We all out here in this field. We also field niggas trying to figure out how to get in the house, right? And so a lot of us, when we do get in a position to talk to the mayor or talk to these people, it's almost like we starstruck. We don't speak no truth to them. And then we allow them to become gatekeepers and say, oh, if your mission ain't for me, you won't be heard. Oh, if you don't speak this way about us on this platform, you won't be on that platform. My point is we have to stop accepting the status quo because it's not working now and it hasn't worked in a very long time. And instead of us smiling and giggling all the time, see, I don't know if most of y'all know, these politicians actually work for us. We vote them in and our taxes pay their salaries. That means they work for us, not vice versa. You're not the king and I'm a peasant. Okay? So we need to behave accordingly. So I would just like to see us hold them more accountable as well as hold ourselves more accountable because God knows we could do better. I mean, I literally, y'all, I've been driving down the street before and the window in front of me open and the motherfucker throw a whole Happy Meal out the window. Fries, drink, barbecue sauce. And I'm like, this is our community. And and maybe it ain't theirs. But it shows when you go into some of the more impoverished communities where you like, look, just a whole field full of garbage. That's on us. I can't blame the white man for that. I can't blame the Republicans. And as much as I'd like to, I would try to find a way. I can't blame Trump for it. But I think of something.
I'll take it back.
Another reason our youth may be depressed. Looking at that shit.
There you go. That environment, Kamar. And like we say all the time, just because you pour on me, you got to be dirty. Right. Just because you're poor don't mean you got to be dirty. Clean your goddamn house up and wash your ass. Stop it. It's not like kids see way more than we think they do. That's my whole point. While you think them, they just kids, they don't know. They listening, they watching, they emulating, they're processing all of that shit. And if you don't take the time to say, man, I got my kids going through a lot of shit. He don't have a relationship with his daddy. You know, you got to look at the position you put your kid in. So stay, man, keep your head on the swivel, man. Y'all be cool. I hope y'all have a great weekend. Kamar, good luck on your event this week. It's go time for me and my little shorty. And so, man, this is the countdown. And so I got to get him up out of here. I'm going to be gone on the next 2 weekends, just handling business for him to get him where he needs to go. Just still trying to be the type of father that I should be, right? I'm at the point now where it's like a duty for me. I can't leave home without doing it. I have to be a parent. I'm a parent around other people now and shit. You know, you tell another little kids, excuse me, young man, what you shouldn't be. Like, damn, I'm getting old. So yeah, man. Once again, man, I hear all the things we're saying about this election coming up. But once again, let's finish with this question, Kamar, that you and I have been asking for so long, which is, if not this, then what? What do y'all really want? What do we want? In specific terms. I'm not talking about giving the best speech. I'm not talking about quoting Malcolm. I'm not talking about quoting Martin Luther King or Dr. Afruma Fazaki that you've seen on YouTube. I'm talking about speaking straight to the needs of the people and the community. What do we want? What are we going to do? Because if y'all telling me I ain't voting for Kamala because she married to a white man, like Tupac said, I reject that deposit because some of y'all favorite celebrities and some of y'all bosses at work is married to white people. And if you're going to say, well, she's not a foundational black American, well, we ain't never had a foundational black American president. And a lot of y'all done voted y'all asses off for him. If you say, well, she was an attorney general and she locked up black people, well, we believe that more criminals should be locked up. That's just our policy. And I'm speaking on me and Kamar because we've agreed to these on the show about these things.
Word.
So make up your mind what we gonna do. If we say fuck this political system, it's corrupt, it doesn't work, let's just not vote for nothing else and see how this shit works. But it's the one thing that you can't do is be misled by somebody who's not informed themselves, right? Research the researcher. Don't be a person that's always got something to say but don't ever do shit, because that ultimately results in you being a person whose criticism of the community outweighs your contribution to it. And you know how we feel about them over here. I'll let y'all finish it. Peace and love, man. Ow, right? Buck Dancer. I see y'all Monday, man. Y'all have a great weekend.
Peace.